ready.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit the start recording button and get that fucking thing out of my way so I don't have to think about it anymore.
Ready or not, here we go.
Basically.
Oh, wait.
I need to get the rest of my windows up.
I have to remember where we started. Last session. By the way, I didn't test any of my d20s, so no idea which one's the good one.
We'll
This will
find
go
out.
great, probably, maybe. Sorry, I'm good.
Are you?
Yep.
Are you?
So good.
Okay.
Yeah, so good. Alright. I can't believe how well this is working. I am so fucking pleased right now. Okay. Whenever... Let's see, who was it? Nyx is next, yeah. Whenever you're ready.
Alright. Right, so, as I was saying, for an important letter, I keep getting interrupted, but anyways, Ember managed to get us to the ship, and as we were questioning Captain Cole about whether there were any recent dangers or such, a storm blew up. A pretty hefty one, from what I can guess. We managed to, just in time, tie ourselves to the mast, and, when we hit what Captain Cole called the eye of the storm, and by we, I really mean more Kea and I, and not so much Ember, suddenly we're, drained of our life energy. Not to scare you, Gray, but, pretty sure I almost died. Kea was a little better, and before we had time to really react to this, something that I don't even know how to begin to describe it to you, brother. It was a massive creature. A massive serpent creature. Dragon-like in appearance, and well, it looked quite a lot like a bronze dragon minus the wings and the legs, but it was way bigger than any dragon could ever be. And we saw maybe 400 feet of the creature, and it was beyond sight. The end was beyond sight. It looked at us and said a whole lot of things, which boils down to, well, I think Kea and I accidentally unlocked some kind of a blood lock or family lock sort of thing. It recognized us as its blood, and then yelled that it was going to kill Thor, and etc., etc., and that it had been bound at the bottom of the sea, and then it disappeared into said sea. I know you're going to call me crazy, Gray, but that was Jormungandr from the stories. He's real, and we're apparently related to him. And Kea. Yeah, so chew on that. Among all of your other new responsibilities. I did notice some strangeness with my magic after, but I'm not really sure what's going on with that yet, so I won't go too much more into that. Captain Cole turned the ship around and brought us back to Texery. He needed to make sure the ship was okay before continuing on. We went back to the inn for the night, deciding that it wasn't a good idea to continue on with our previous plan. And we headed out in the morning. We met an interesting elven woman at the bar. She was from the continent. She had apparently left, and the barkeeper was her second cousin. So, there's some stuff going on over there. As we know, or don't know, as the case may be. We made it to the clearing of where the circus was supposed to be. And it was weird. The tents were all still set up, and there were people leaving the tents. It was weird. Kea watched the crowd and realized it was a looping image sort of thing. And Ember and I, when we snuck into the animal area, didn't find anybody. But the animals reacted to us. So we turned around thinking it was a trap and went back to the kids. Since they were our priority. Dimitri told us a little bit more about them, but hadn't seen them around. So once we were sure Cole would be able to keep them safe, we went back. Ember, brain fart. Dispelled the illusion, which, Gray. Ember has grown so much into his new magic. I think his mom would be super impressed with him. And very proud of him. So Ember dispelled the illusion, but the tents were still there. We decided to have Ember speak with the bears that were supposedly so important to one of the animal trainer, and they told us that they all went into the tent and never came out the night before, and that they smelled blood. That being said, we cautiously entered the tent to find the entire circus laying in the center ring with their throats slit, every single one of them. And sitting in the stands, admiring his handiwork, was a man who called himself the Painter. I don't want to know what he's a painter of. We freed the animals, seeing as there was nothing we could do for the people, and the Painter decided to leave magically, so we did not pursue that further. Probably wise, given the fact that we were fairly confident we could handle the circus, but it would be tough, and he took out all of them. So he might have been more than we could have handled. So yes, we freed the animals that were wild and let them go, and the animals that are domesticated we're taking into town to sell, except for the horse. We're keeping the horse, because we're supposed to still be making our way to Caldura. You know, ill shaman and all of that. We keep getting sidetracked. I thought Kea was supposed to keep us on track. She got sidetracked by vengeance, avenge the innocents. That seems to be all for now. I mean, other than the fact that, oh yeah, don't tell Mom and Dad, but we might have an angry god of thunder to deal with maybe sometime down the road. Don't tell Mom and Dad that. You know Dad'll just blow a gasket. Yeah, I'll update you as the mail service allows. Love you, bye!
Wonderful. I'd give you inspiration, but you did your journal, so you already have it. Okay. So we're going to start the episode with us actually walking back into town. At the end of the last episode, you guys came back from the forest with the animals. Sorry. Were you headed straight to the market or to the lollygag? What were we doing?
My Chaos vote would be for the market, because goats and Shetland ponies and...
I'm pretty sure Vanderall is not going to let us bring them into the inn.
I mean,
so...
stables, but yeah.
Money.
Yeah, money.
Okay.
We'll pay to stable the horse, but...
So then... You find yourselves in the vibrant and lively Pexry markets. You can hear the usual fare. There are people shouting from their tents, and horses in the distance, drawn carriages. There's lots of carts selling street foods and stalls with beautiful tapestries and the finest in cloaks and clothing fashions for peasants and adventurers alike. The area is bustling. There's lots of people going which way and that. Where are you taking your conga line of farm animals?
I would take a look to see. Oh, I didn't. If I can find anybody who appears to be selling, like farm animals or horses, because they'd be the ones most likely to purchase.
I was gonna say maybe somewhere near the stable.
So at the far end of the markets, there is an area that you've passed by a couple of times now, where there's always this interesting fellow. He runs like a collapsible shop, so it's very much like a square that he just stands inside of with wares that come out in shelves in the front. And he always on his right. The reason this guy is interesting is because he's a very heavy tabaxi. But on his right is the stalls that the whole market uses. And on his left, he's selling animals. In addition to the oars and what he calls lanterns, but they look more like firelights as well. Is that where you guys want to go?
That's where I'm gonna head. But before we get there, I'm gonna halt the cavalcade and go. Okay, we're sure we're keeping the Clydesdale. Just to be aware, he is going to cost us more to keep. So we're sure we want to keep him.
How much do you estimate he'll cost us to keep?
Would I know that?
No.
Would I have any idea?
Would we be
I'm gonna just
better
shrug.
off asking someone?
I'm not gonna ask the salesman. He's a...
Okay, we could kind of ask about what the cost of like a regular horse would be and see if that'd be less expensive.
Well, I mean, all three of us can ride this bad boy.
I mean,
we would need to buy 2 to 3 horses.
Yeah.
So regular horses will be more expensive, but...
Well, here's the other question. Is Sir Horse, who needs a name if we're going to keep him, him, her, whatever you are, can they, and I know the answer is yes, but by how much, shorten our travel time to get to Sick Shaman?
Oh yeah. He definitely can.
Because here's my
he's got longer legs.
thought is we keep him at least until Caldura.
And then sell.
And then we can, if we can make the decision to sell or keep him to get us back.
A good point. No, I think that's clever. Yeah.
Alrighty then. So then this money that we make from selling, we should just set aside for
Horse feed?
Horse stuff.
Okay. I mean, I was going to ask, do we want to get a tent? I mean, we got lucky in the monastery. We had the monastery to protect us from storms, but...
True.
I don't enjoy the idea of sleeping and getting rained on.
I mean, I don't either. We could definitely look into it. I don't think a tent would be that expensive, would it?
I don't know.
Depends on the merchant. They aren't that expensive to make, but at this she's gonna kind of look around at the market and go, if this is an adventuring town, the prices are up.
Fair. I mean, I honestly, I think the prices would probably be higher in Ashad just because who needs a tent? They'd be like a specialty item. I would think everybody needs tents around here.
Yeah, Nyx has a point.
We
I mean, they
can
really shouldn't
ask
be that
around.
expensive. Yeah, let's at least ask.
Let's investigate before we investigate the library.
Horses first.
Yes.
Or goats.
Goats first.
Ponies. Things.
As the
ponies.
three of you with animals in tow walk up to the vendor, this
I feel like they're all
heavy
just following Ember.
set tabaxi fellow with some very interesting looking, almost Ashadian robes. You get up to him and he's already eyeing the livestock in the back. He's got a purple scarf. He's rather heavy, so his face is quite round. Green eyes and alternating gold and like auburn on his fur and white whiskers. And he's wearing mage's robes with a blue crystalline focus hanging around his neck. And as you come up, he waves out one arm and... Hello! Hello! Have you come to sell me something?
I'm gonna gesture and go, yeah, we came into some unnecessary livestock.
I don't need to know the story. I just think it's perfect when people bring me more merchandise. What were you looking to get out of them? How many goats are there back there?
How many goats are there?
There was
I don't
just
think you
one.
ever actually told.
No, he did. There was just one goat.
I just
I wrote
have
it
there
down.
are goats.
2 ponies, 1 horse, 1 goat. So, it's just 1 goat.
Okay.
A circus act with one goat.
One goat?
What do you think?
That's what he told us.
I feel like there needs to be at least 2.
2.
That's what he told us, guys.
Oh, if there's only 1 goat back there behind those ponies, I can give you 5 silver for the goat. And are you selling these ponies as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 gold per pony. What about the big one?
He's coming with us.
I see. Are you sure you don't want to part with him? I could make it worth your while.
And how much is worth our while?
So you're... I will give you 4 gold pieces for the horse.
No, the horse stays with us. You'd make a killing on him resale. Some farmer would be glad to get him.
What are you trying to say? Are you
Which
suggesting...
brings me to the goat.
Huh.
He's worth a little bit more than, what was that, 5 silver?
Yes, 5
After
silver.
all-
That's a very fair price. It's perfect, indeed.
A farmer, this one looks young. A farmer's going to get a lot of years out of him for...
Oh, listen
wool.
to you haggle. Ugh. Come into the markets and try and haggle with the vendors there. Roll a
Of course.
persuasion check.
Alright.
And guidance yourself.
This is true. I can. And I know I
Reminding
can
the paladin to do paladin things.
Because the paladin up to this point didn't know she could do paladin things.
Exactly.
This is actually, well, technically last episode too, but okay. 13. Hold
It's
up.
been like a day since you've known you could do paladin things.
Mm-hmm.
And then we almost died, so.
13.
Twice.
All of the music you guys hear tonight is custom, by the way.
Woo! That day is acceptable. Nope.
17.
One or the
Out,
other's jig.
Keith.
17?
Mm-hmm.
He, like, twists a few of his whiskers. I could do 6 silver for the goat.
All right.
But I want to be clear. You're twisting my arm.
I'm sure I am. We'll take
I'm
the
glad
6
she's
silver.
not doing it in reality. She hurts.
6 silver for the goat. Perfect. And he reaches into one sleeve and pulls out 6 silver pieces and hands them to you, and reaches his hand out for the leash for the goat.
I don't know what you rolled. What did you roll? I moved you.
I will take the 6 silver and gesture for who has the goat rope.
Like I said, I'm assuming they're all following
Yeah,
Ember.
I'm
just
assuming
like,
they're behind
"Woo,
Ember."
Druid!
Yeah. I'll just like pick up the line and hand it to you.
He takes the goat and he like ties it to one of the little pieces on the stall. Now about those ponies. I think one
He
gold is
said-
very fair.
They're trained ponies.
Yes,
know
a gold
tricks.
apiece is quite a lot. I can get you 2 nights at the inn. I can get you a sword in town. Come on now. That's a lot of money.
Nyx is gonna look at Kea like,
We'll take the 2 gold on the ponies. They are Shetland ponies, so
they are little.
yeah. We'll do a gold on the ponies.
Haha, yes. Okay, give me those. And he pulls, this time, 2 gold coins and he holds them between 2 fingers and offers them out.
I'll take the gold and gesture to Ember.
As Ember hands over the reins for the 2 ponies, he's just gonna, do you keep all your gold in your sleeves? Like, that's impressive. How do you do that?
Actually, and he rolls up the sleeve, folding it up, and you see there's a small bag of holding hanging from his wrist, or from his elbow. And he pulls out a gold piece and puts it back in, and then rolls up
that's
his
amazing! Oh, that's such a neat trick!
It's how I survived the upper ring in a shot and didn't get pickpocketed.
That is incredibly clever.
Thank you.
Most
You were
people
in a
just put pants in
shod.
their pockets.
What are you doing out here?
Oh, it's simple. I go to a shod twice a year, and when I go there, and he points to the far side of his stall where there's a pile of rocks in a barrel. And the pile of rocks is glowing faintly blue. And he points to those and he goes, I actually mine those rocks twice a year, and I bring them out here, and through my artificing skills, I weave them into focuses and sell them to hungry adventurers, or would-be adventurers. A cat
I'm gonna
like
lean-
me needs to make sure he has as many paws and as many bags as possible. Otherwise, it's not so perfect, you know?
Just keep your paws out of our bags.
Aghast I am! That is not a fair thing to say. I would never put my paws in your pockets unless you allowed me to. I am a fair kitty.
And I'm certain you are. I'm sorry, she doesn't mean much by it. We've had a very interesting day. So please excuse her.
It's quite alright.
Well, we appreciate your business. Thank you very much.
Wait. Do any of you need a focus?
A focus?
We're good.
We're good.
I don't believe so.
Is there anything else you might need? Maybe information or treasure or weapons? I might know somebody who knows somebody. A tent?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, tents.
I've got 3 in the back.
Tent, horse feed.
Horse feed. Come to the right place, madame. Horse feed are plenty.
Look at that.
That's not gonna cost me an arm and a leg.
No.
And your tail?
I'll give you my price on it just to make sure I get some return business. And he turns around and he motions towards something, and a hand floats over and grabs a bag of horse feed, and it carries the horse feed over and drops it in front of Ember. That bag right there is 20 pounds of horse feed. It'll last you about 10 days. And it's only 15 gold pieces.
touch pricey.
Well, do we need that much feed, guys? I'm not entirely sure how much we need.
There, Caldera and back should be 6 days. Misadventure. That's if we keep the horse once we leave Caldera.
Nyx is just gonna lean into Kay and be like, "Don't horses eat grass?"
They do. He does not need to eat all of this, and we are not in winter yet.
It's very close, dear. Very close. And you're headed towards Caldera, correct?
Yes.
You've got to go through the mountains. There's going to be snow everywhere. No grass to feed on. Your horse will starve. Look at the big guy. He needs all the food he can get.
Probably shouldn't starve our animals if we're going to keep them.
It's really unfair negotiations when the DM is a fucking salesman in real life.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair, man.
We'll do the bag, but for... I said 15? 10 gold.
Done!
Should have gone lower.
A little too high.
Didn't he said 15 gold, right?
He did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm making sure I heard the right... I'm making sure I heard gold and not silver, so... Because he misspoke last time, he was way too eager about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Done, my dears. Done.
And you said you had some tents?
Accept. Give me the money. Huh? No, wait a minute. One sale at a time.
Alright.
And I give him 10 gold.
And you see him stuff it into his sleeve.
Oh, you're buying your tent.
Okay.
Right then. Do you need a one-person tent, a two-person tent, a three-person tent?
Why'd you say it quietly?
He's a little dense, isn't he?
No, I'm quite bright. I'm just not really sure why you said it quietly.
Uh-huh.
I mean...
You clearly don't need a three-person tent.
I mean,
Nyx is doing the mental head now.
Three-person tent? It would just be to shelter us from the rain. I'm confused.
And meanwhile, Kay is just standing off to the side now going...
Technically, we only need a two-person tent. Because only 2 people are sleeping at a time in the tent.
That's a good point.
Someone's always on watch.
Right. Okay, wonderful.
So a 2-person tent.
And you see him turn around, and he throws both his hands out, and his big sleeves just kind of... And not one, but 2 hands float over and pick up what looks to be a rug, pull it out of the way, and underneath it is a neatly rolled object. He picks that neatly rolled object up, and with the hands carrying it over, that it lands in front of, between you and him. Right, that is, oh goodness, a 2-person tent is 2 gold and 4 silver, I believe. I don't sell these very often. But since you're such perfect customers, you get your discount.
We have a discount?
I knocked a silver off the price.
Very kind of you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Nyx is just gonna have this look of like,
Do you want a bargain?
Here, I'll help on this one. And Ember's gonna open up his bag and literally, like, he's not trying to hide
Nyx
it.
is gonna smack his hand for a minute.
Stop his hand and go, no. Meanwhile, I'm also gonna touch her and go, you've got this, dear. And cast guidance.
How about we do 1 gold even?
Roll persuasion.
Did I get guidance on that?
You got guidance.
That's a 16 plus 6 plus, where's the d4? Plus a 1! So, 23. probably could have gone, but.
And you see him kind of like, and then he looks down at his paw and he starts counting on his paws.
Aw. Kitty.
Done.
Thank you.
Oh, persuasion.
Gladly. She's good at it.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch your name.
My name?
Mm-hmm.
Not too many people ask for my name.
Or how else would we be repeat buyers if we don't know your name?
Obviously coming back to the stall, of course.
True, but that seems rude. To just, come up to you and assume that we know you, but not know your name. That just seems odd and rude.
Well, my name is Quirrell. How do you do? And he sticks his hand out, his paw out, for you to shake.
I'll shake his hand, or his paw, I guess, with my hand, and I'll just go, "Oh, nice to meet you. I am Ember."
Incredibly soft, by the way. Just so you know, like
perfect.
Ridiculous, like
oh yeah,
kitten soft, not cat, kitten soft.
Yep. And as we're shaking hands, I'll go, "Well, it's very nice to meet you. My name is Ember, and man, you have amazingly soft paws."
I like compliments.
Well, you guys need anything else? He's been super helpful.
Don't
we have our rations.
They call me a one-stop shop, although no one calls me that, but I am right now.
I mean, if we think of anything else, we'll certainly be back.
I think we're good. Let's go talk to Vanderell about stabling this thing.
You seem like very discerning customers. I might have one more thing that interests you.
What you got?
Nyx is just doing a mental head tally of like how much gold they possibly have and mentally being like, whatever it is, we can't afford it.
He turns around and he flicks open his sleeves again, and this time it looks like he casts a singular mage hand. And the mage hand goes to the very back of the store, and there's a bookshelf on one side. All the way to the top, picks up a singular book, and it floats all the way over. And as it does, Ember, with the only passive perception high enough, you notice that he flinches out of the way as it gets close when it goes by. The book lands on the counter, the shelf counter that's between you both, and he says, "This leather-bound book I found in the most interesting place. It's just perfect, you see. It's arcane in nature, and it's nearly 1,000 years old. I haven't found the right buyer to pick it up yet, but I think, since you all seem to be such strong mages, that it might be comfortable in one of your hands."
What happens when someone picks up the book?
What do you mean?
I mean exactly what I asked. What happens when someone picks up the book?
Nothing at all. Why do you say that?
Oh, I mean, most people don't flinch from a leather-bound book like you did.
And he reaches down, he picks up the book, and he holds it up, and he says, see, nothing wrong. But then immediately puts it back down.
You make a very good point. This could be a very interesting book. Do you mind reading a page to us so we just get a gist for what's in it?
I can tell you what's in it. It's a bunch of spells and components for you to gather 4 said spells. Most of them are ritual cast, but it's really great.
And where'd you find it?
Somewhere I wasn't supposed to be.
Nyx is gonna lean into his ear and whisper, "Kinda like how we found the ponies."
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Do you mind if I take a look at it?
And you see him kind of like look down and like play with his much closer to his like lip. He playing with the whiskers. It should be fine. Yes, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Ember's gonna kind of approach the book.
Mm-hmm.
And
do you want me to describe it to you?
Yeah, if you would.
So
please.
it is it's actually a bit bigger and like longer than normal books. It's very akin to like those old manuscript books or like even an old Bible, leather bound,
yep.
black and heavy, right? And the binding of the book, the back part where the title would be, is just black. There's some writing, but it's too faded to tell what the name of the book is.
Okay.
The pages themselves on the other side seem to have like shiny, like something on the edges of all of them.
Fancy book.
Here's a weird question. Would Ember recognize the type of leather, whether it be from animal or other nature?
Nature check with disadvantage.
Okay, that's fair. I have proficiency in nature check. Does that change the disadvantage?
It's unconventional use, no.
Okay, dang it.
Good
You
try.
have guidance.
I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder and do guidance.
I already rolled.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know what it
both
is.
have it.
It's an 8.
Okay. With an 8, you are you picking it up? You are, right?
Yes, but I'm being careful not to open it.
Okay. So as you're holding it and you're looking at it, you can't really tell, and you're getting it closer to your face, and then you sniff it.
Mm-hmm.
And your nose tells you that this is animal leather, but it is not any animal leather you've ever smelled before.
Okay, I'm gonna gently put it down. And then very quietly, almost in a whisper, I'm gonna whisper the incantation to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Let me 1 second here.
I'm looking for specific. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is gonna resonate with magic, but I'm just looking for its type of magic.
Yeah. I gotta pull it up and remember which type is what.
Right.
So it seems. No, wait a minute. I need to back up.
Okay.
As you cast Detect Magic, and your senses lower as your arcane senses reach out to this object, something entirely new happens to you. You've cast Detect Magic many times, and you always get the same information back. You see how much magic is coming off the object, and what school of magic it is. This time you got a third piece of information that you've never gotten before. Never received? You know that it is an extreme amount of evocation magic coming off of it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But it actually, the words that come to your brain are evocation, and then there's another word. And the other word is primal.
Okay. Okay.
Nyx is gonna put her chin on his shoulder and go, "Is it gonna eat us?"
Quite possibly, but it might be worth it. Quirrell, you are right. This is an incredibly interesting book.
I thought you'd like it. I knew it. I knew you were the right adventurers. I knew it.
Yeah. Seeing as how we are the right adventurers for said book, how much would you be willing to part for it?
Normally, books of this caliber would be going for lots of gold in collections and libraries far away from here, but since I am but a humbler traveler, and that you are but humble adventurers of humble means, I think I could give it to you for 2 gold pieces.
Why do you want to get rid of this book so badly?
You see, as a merchant, everything in my inventory has a expiration date. And when that expiration date is reached, I realize it is not a viable inventory for me to have, and it gets much more in my interest to clear up the spot for something that will sell.
Sounds like a good business tactic, honestly.
It is. It's perfect.
How long have you been in business? I mean, you seem to have a lot of knowledge.
How much time he has been a cat?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I just meant you had like a lot of merchant knowledge, and it just seems like you've been around a while. Wow, that's amazing.
And every
seem
year,
to be doing very well for yourself.
I wish indeed. I wish.
Gold and 7 silver.
You're trying to bleed me dry, which is not perfect.
Well, you did say you wanted to clear it out of your inventory.
This is what I get for being honest with travelers. 1 gold, 9 silver, final offer.
I can help if you need it.
All right.
Okay. Ember's gonna open up his...
I got it, Ember.
No, let me help. You guys have been buying everything else. He's gonna open up his coin purse.
You have like
he's
1
not trying to hide. I do have 1 gold. He's not gonna try to hide it or anything. He literally has 1 gold in the pouch. He's gonna take it out and hand it to the tabaxi.
He looks at the tabaxi. He takes the gold, but while he's taking the gold, he looks at the empty pouch and goes, "You should find a quest, adventurer."
We're working on that, but I'm not used to having money, so that's kind of new to me anyways.
Right then. Well, the book is yours, and I hope to see you again.
Nyx is gonna pick up the book and go, I hope it doesn't eat me.
Between friends, since we have bought the book, anything we should watch out for?
Oh, yes. With the book, don't open it. Okay?
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
May I ask why?
My recommendation, and what worked best for me, is anytime I was asleep, I just put a rock on top of the book.
Oh, that sounds fair.
Yeah.
What happens if we do open it?
Just don't.
Cool. I'll ask my my fire giant friend to see if he can help me open the book then. That should work. And he'll turn towards Nyx and be like, yeah, that should work. Yeah, we'll do that later.
Or the librarian.
Yeah, or the librarian. We just asked what she knows about it. Thank you, Coral. You've been incredibly helpful.
If you count trying to kill us as helpful.
You guys are perfect customers, except you bled me dry. Not appreciative. But perfect customers, so see me again, just leave her at home.
You're funny, Coral.
She's
we'll
coming
see you
with
later.
us. So she can bleed you dry again.
And as you walk away, you find yourselves in the middle of the Texary Market. And a thought occurs to you. It's about time for some food. Being that...
Street food, or do we go eat at the inn?
I'm gonna look at Ember and go, should we find the possum vendor again?
No. Please not the possum vendor.
I feel like the street food, though, was a little cheaper than Vanderel's. And I'm
He would
low
be
on money.
insulted.
He would be. But I'm low on money.
I have none.
I know. And Nyx is just gonna give him a look of like,
If we want, I can just go hunting for our food.
do you have the food spell?
Yes, actually, I do. You mean the one that creates berries that will sustain you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that.
We could cheat.
Is it cheating?
Where was that?
Oh yeah, the universe is right. We do have rations.
We do! Do we want to eat
Kay's
rations?
just going to look at them both and go,
You know-
realize we're going to be on the road and we'll be eating berries
I
and
know.
hardtack.
I know. I want to make sure we have enough money.
We'll find you another job.
We don't have time to find
Once
us
we get in
another job.
Caldera, I'll be able to help the God, I've already forgotten what we're doing. What was his name?
Shaman.
The shaman. I forgot his title. Okay.
That guy.
Yeah. I'll be able to help the shaman, and I'm sure that we'll get either some kind of payment for that, or if not, we can try to pick up some jobs while we're there.
That's fair. Well, we gotta see
sure-
Vanderell about rooms anyways.
I'm sure with their healer being sick like that, they probably have a stock of people who need healing, so might
And
be
we
able to
can
help
always-
out there.
Kay and I can always ditch you in the healer's tent and go find other jobs.
True. Yeah. So I'm not too worried
Split
about
the
it, but
party.
but I mean, I've never really been good with money at all. So if
know.
we're short,
Next
I don't
time-
mind. I can go hunting.
Next time we're dealing with merchants, Ember, let us do the talking with the bartering, the haggling.
That's fair. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's just I don't like that guy just taking all your money.
He seemed like a nice, knowledgeable fellow, though.
Who's trying to kill us?
Is to take all our money, and he's currently Nyx is, by the way, is hugging the book to her chest.
I mean, I felt like he
currently
had
trying to kill us.
I mean, I don't think he was trying to kill us. I think he had an artifact that he didn't know how to properly deal with. It was looking for
Probably.
someone to help take over that responsibility. I saw it
yes.
as us doing him a service for taking the book, which is why he sold it to us for so cheap, because I know those books go for way more than
Oh,
that.
they go for way more. If this is the type of book I think it could be, these books are expensive.
So honestly, that's the only reason I agreed to it, because I felt like we could handle the book, but he couldn't, and I didn't want him to get hurt.
Like, Dad would be over the moon to get his hands on one of these books if it's one of the books I think it could be.
Well, let's be safe. Let's not open it just yet, if you don't mind.
Let's go see Vanderell.
Yeah, let's see the
Get some
Vanderell. Maybe
dinner,
ask the
Get
librarian
some
about
rooms.
the book.
For
And
the
then
night.
worst case
Stable
scenario.
the horse.
Yeah.
And maybe Vanderell can point us in the right direction. Although he's going to make us pay.
Yeah. We
could
try
always
not
just
to get
we're
advice
gonna
from
go. We could just drop that we're gonna go visit the librarian
him.
and see if he, coughs up any info.
I mean, we could just ask him. Do we really need to blackmail him?
Yes.
Yes.
Can't we just ask him?
Remember when he made you pay last time?
Can't we just ask the guy instead of blackmailing him right out the bat, right out the gate?
Ember. What's your pocketbook look like?
My pocketbook?
Coin purse.
Oh, it's empty.
Yeah, and the
You can't
last
afford
time
to
we
just ask him.
the last
Well,
time we
he'll give
just
it to us
asked
for
him,
free.
he charged you a gold.
Well, yeah, but if he does that, then we blackmail him. We don't have to start out the gate with the blackmail, though. Compromise!
I'm gonna look at Nyx and go, how does he get anywhere?
Me.
I don't go anywhere.
Nyx is just in Draconic. He's the heart. I'm the brawn. This is how this works.
And I'm gonna reply, Braun? Really? Braun?
magical.
Must you guys talk in Draconic when I can't? It's very rude.
It's perfect.
Okay, so as you have made your way, chatting at one another, across town and into the lollygag, typical crowd is there.
I'm assuming we tied off the horse somewhere.
No, there's a stable right next to the lollygag, so you guys just did that thing.
Okay.
So that's
horse come in.
I had a mental image of a giant Clydesdale.
knocking tables over. Tim the Mimic just like, lunch!
And a horse comes in. He's my friend.
So you walk in to the lollygag. And, as usual, Vanderel is doing his thing. He is behind the bar and having quite the rousing conversation with a woman in a blue dress with blonde hair. A woman you remember as Estelle. Vanderel sees you all walk in and he waves with the hand that has a cloth towel in it and then goes back to polishing a cup. Typical bartender things. He motions that you can sit anywhere.
Oh, I'm assuming we're gonna go right up to the bar.
Yep. We gotta discuss stuff.
Does he look like he's actually in like full-on conversation with Estelle right now?
Well, as you're walking up, he's like looking at you, making eye contact, looking at you, and then he's like, Hey, how is everybody?
We're doing great, thank you for asking.
So, we're gonna need rooms for another night.
Another night? I thought you had some urgent thing to do. Something about a shaman in Caldera?
We got sidetracked. We'll tell you the whole story tonight. Needless to say, stuff happened, and actually, you probably want to know about it.
Okay.
But, well, actually, there's some really important information that will trade you for whatever information she's looking for.
Uh-huh.
And Nyx is very carefully gonna put the book down and go, we bought this off a merchant.
Did you put it down on the table?
On the bar?
Yeah, on the bar, but she's like got her hand flat on the top to like keep it closed.
As you put it on the table and put your hand on it, you can actually feel the book pushing against your hand trying to open.
Anybody got an extra belt?
Lift up.
And she's gonna pick it back up and be like, yeah, we bought this off a merchant. He didn't tell us until after we bought it that, we shouldn't open it, which defeats the purpose of a book.
I see.
Curious if you knew anything, or if you could deduce anything about said book.
Well, I haven't done this in a while. And he like straightens his beard for a second and then like pushes his locks to one side and flips the other side up over his elf ear. And he goes, okay. Sticks his arms over the book, like kind of having you hold it out, but he's not touching it. And you hear him whisper in, can any of you speak Elvish?
Yep.
Okay.
I speak Sylvan.
I do.
Okay. So in Elvish, you hear him whisper, Bardic secret. And the whole room lights up. Massive, white, bright, brilliant light as gold letters roll around this book in concentric circles. These letters are runes. Elven runes, specifically. And they swirl in different patterns over and swirl back over through your hands, and they don't seem to do anything to your hands. And he has his eyes closed and his hands like this over the book. And it takes him a good, probably 45 seconds to a minute of this ridiculous looking magic that he's doing. And then he kind of pulls his hands back and goes, "Where'd you say you got this book?"
I'm a merchant in town.
In town? Someone had a book like this in town?
Yeah, he said he found it, and he's been trying to sell it, and...
The tabaxi that has the stables.
Quirrell?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Had this.
Yep.
I just used I just used a bardic secret on it, which is a 9th level spell. I'm an 18th level bard. I can't see anything about it.
That's a little terrifying.
That's massively terrifying, because the book is actually actively trying to open right now. Like, I can feel it.
Think the librarian might know anything?
Andy, they... And you see Rory kind of like stick his head up behind the kitchen window. You just see eyes above the ledge. And Vanderel like flicks his hair so he can't see Rory behind him. He goes, "The librarian may know something, but be careful asking them, okay? They
seemed pleasant.
They like books like this."
In other words, she might try to take the book. Or they might try to take the book.
Maybe. If they're anything like they were when, in the past. If they're anything like they were in the past, they might. And you see Rory's eyes just kind of...
Could you... You didn't get anything from it?
Nothing.
Oh.
Estelle kind of like is holding a beer and she kind of turns to you guys and goes, Want me to try it?
Oh,
sure.
You're adapting in the arcane arts? That's awesome.
I mean, if you want to take a crack at it, I'm kind of scared of this book now that we own.
Give it here.
Nyx is gonna hand it over while keeping the, like, 2 covers
She
shut
takes
and being
with
like...
both hands and she looks at the edges of the book. She turns it over in her hand. And she's like holding both sides, but like looking at the sides of the book. And the front, and then the back. She holds it over. She looks at Vanderel and smiles, and Vanderel goes... like, and then she just opens the book.
Oh god.
No.
And she looks inside. And then immediately shuts the book. And she looks startled.
What was in there? What was in there?
What did we buy?
If it summons Cthulhu, we're out.
Yeah. We've already dealt with one.
Lady Estelle, are you okay?
Vanderel, how long was the book open? I don't know. Maybe a second? Second and a half? I told you not to do it. What happened? How much did you pay for this book?
Gold and 9 silver?
And she's like gripping it really, really hard right now. I'll pay you 150 gold pieces right this second to own this book.
Did I have a beer in my hand, by the way? Because this is the perfect moment. Would Vanderbilt have stuck a beer in front of me?
Not yet.
Can you tell us what you saw?
What is it?
It's private matters that I saw, love. I can't explain.
Private matters?
Am I getting any kind of vibe from her that this seems like an obsession? Like a lifelong obsession?
What does that mean?
Like, she said it was a personal matter, Like, am I getting, like, she's throwing all caution to the... Like, a vibe that she's throwing caution to the wind just to get this book?
You know what? Instead of giving you a roll, I'm going to give you a description, and you take what you want from it.
That works.
She is clutching the book, her nails digging into the leather on either side, the hard front and back covers. Her eyes are tiered, and there's small streams at the edges of them. And though she was sitting right in front of you the whole time, her hair is frazzled, and her whole appearance is somehow disheveled compared to what it was before.
I'm gonna look at her and go, does this have anything to do with why you left your village?
It didn't.
Okay.
Lydia, still don't get this wrong, but I feel like if we sold you this book, not only would we be doing you a large injustice for the price that we paid for it, but I feel like we'd also be doing a large injustice to your safety.
I don't care what you think, boy. I don't care what you paid. Let me, and she turns to Nyx, let me buy this book off of you. Please.
Nyx is gonna look at Vanderel like...
Vanderel's just
your
like...
family. And she's gonna look to Kea.
He's looking at Vanderel. She's your cousin. Would you let her buy the book?
I am an 18th level bard, but I'm a retired adventurer. Estelle here is my senior and quite a powerful witch in her own right. I would never own that book. And I would be afraid to show it to Andy, and I would be afraid to sell it to Estelle. If it were me, I would take it and throw it into the ocean or toss it in a fire.
I wouldn't throw it in the ocean. There are things in the ocean. Nyx is gonna look at Estelle and go, so, back to our trade that we offered, Vanderel. And she's gonna gesture to herself and Kea, found out that we're descended of Jormungandr.
And Vanderel just kind of flicks an eyebrow up and like, he starts to laugh at you, but then eyes you both and looks at you like, serious?
Yeah, you want to know how we found out?
I'll humor you.
We unlocked his bloodlock, binding him to the ocean.
Those are words that don't make any sense.
You know the big storm that rolled up last night?
What storm?
Okay, it didn't hit the shore.
Reach the shore.
Didn't reach the shore. Hang on a minute. Can I do this? Yes, I can. Nyx is going to use prestidigitation, and in the palm of her hand, an image of Jormungandr is going to appear. That, but 400 feet tall.
Vanderel's eyeing the image and just kind of like, that looks like a bronze dragon with some rust on his stomach. Or tarnishing.
No legs. No legs. No
wings.
So it's a big bronze dragon and you only are showing me the top half?
It looked
Scales
at the
size of the ship.
And
A
screamed,
scale.
Thor, I'm coming
For you.
Okay, you ladies need some sleep.
Anyways, we may or may not have accidentally released the world serpent, and we may or may not have an angry god of thunder our butts at some point.
So all we need now is Loki to be released, and there goes Ragnarok.
Shush, you.
What?
Stop spreading that around.
Should we really be saying any of this out loud, guys? Like, we haven't really talked about this.
It happened right outside their town. Yeah. My question is, if those events had theoretically happened, since Vanderel doubts me, would this book help me protect my friends?
Estelle, by the way, has not looked at you all like you're crazy at all. She's just looking. And she's kind of resting her hand like this, with her mug in the other hand. And the book is underneath her elbow now, pinned to the table.
Oh.
I knew you guys reminded me of someone. I used to have a group that would come to my home. I used to run an inn, very similar to this. And I used to have a group that would come to my home regularly, spouting nonsense about crazy tales and giant monsters.
Were they right?
Oh yes, very much. They were quite right. In fact, the smartest among them opened a town of her own, and is the only reason I am here today.
Glad she was able to help you.
Lady Estelle, to kind of put the book matter to ease here, if you may, before we make a final decision, may I take one last look at the book?
And she takes
Ember's
the
gonna
book,
reach out his hand for the book,
and she holds it in both hands and offers it to you. And as she's offering it to you, you take the book, but she doesn't let go yet. And you like pull, and she like pulls back, and you pull, and she pulls back, and then she lets go.
Okay.
And she's like,
"Yeah," and I'll do both hands. Make sure I have both hands clutched on it. If we could, and I'll look back towards Nyx and Kea, and kind of directed at everybody. Kea, Nyx, Estelle, Lady Estelle, if you wouldn't mind, let's just step out for a brief moment. I want to try one thing, and then I think that should settle it.
You gonna talk to the old man?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go talk to the old man. Not you, Vanderel. An older man.
It's an acquaintance of mine.
Oh yeah, Vanderel.
Ember's gonna start. Ember's gonna start walking towards the door, but he's not like going quickly. He's making sure people are following him.
Yeah.
Like I'm not running with the book. I'm just going outside because I don't want to do this inside.
And Nyx, it's in Draconic, is gonna go, "What the fuck did we buy, Kea?"
I have no idea, but I think it was a bad idea. I knew it was a bad idea in the first place when he was like, "It's okay to open it."
He said rituals. There's spells that I think would be useful.
Not nice to talk in the language other people can't understand.
I understood them just fine.
Great. It's not nice to talk in a language I can't understand.
Also, note to self: Estelle knows Draconic.
Just to know, everybody, Estelle brought her ale with her. She's standing
that's great.
outside.
That's great.
So you are standing just outside the lollygag in the street.
How many people are around us?
5.
Okay. Is there like a side of the lollygag that has like a little bit less? Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to get less
into the barn.
Insight. I'm not trying to hide. I'm just trying not to be obvious.
Okay.
So we'll head there. I'm making him change the sound playlist over and over again.
As an aside to Estelle, Nyx is gonna go, "Do you think it'd make him feel better if I excluded Kea too?" In Elvish.
My word. A scholar.
All right.
Weird to find one around here.
Not from here.
No, you're definitely not from here. So, as you guys walk into the barn, it's just an old shed with some horse stalls in it. And your Clydesdale's at the end on the right.
Question to the GM, because I'm looking at my notes, but I can't seem to find it. What was the language we discovered we could all speak? What was the name of the language?
Aesir.
I'm gonna write that down. I thought I wrote it down before, but I didn't.
Need to add that to the sheet.
Yeah, I need to add it.
Yeah.
Okay. So once we get into the barn, Ember's just gonna kind of address the group. All right. Let's see if this works. If we want to, everybody can just kind of stand in a circle, and we'll see what we get from this. And then in Aesir, Ember's gonna say, hoping that Lady Estelle doesn't understand Aesir. He's going to say, if something gets too crazy, close the book and pull it away from me. And he's not waiting for a response. He's not waiting for a response.
Nyx is just like, gone, like, fuck.
So you should know that Estelle, when she heard you speaking, went...
Immediately after Ember says those words, he's going to invoke one of his wild shapes and go into Avatar state.
Oh fuck, okay.
And while he's in Avatar state, he's going to open the book.
Okay, so...
Scare all the creatures.
Slow down.
It's a lot happening, I know.
Going into Avatar state. Yep. Describe it for everybody. Give it your most beautiful description, because it's the first time you're going to do it for real.
Yep. First time I'm doing it for real. Yep. Alright, so I'm just pulling up the image to get a little bit easier. So as Ember kind of focuses at the book, he's got it held flat. You see it kind of starts in his eyes. They seem to just light up and dance a little bit with fire. And then it's almost like the form of him, like the outline of Ember, seems to grow. But it grows in a way that's it's weird. It's see-through and it's monochromatic. It's red. And as it grows, it changes form from Ember's form. And it grows 2 large horns. Between the horns, you see kind of his hair just kind of alights in a transparent fire, along with a transparent fiery beard that kind of just appears. And this is just almost like an after image that's just superimposing his entire body as he opens the book.
Did you know he could do this?
Nope, but we were warned. Well, technically, the old man did it the last time.
True.
For the record, I have a lot more resistances now and 200 health. So, just
good luck
making sure we're all aware of this.
Okay. So,
in case there was a saving throw.
Ember.
I'm immune to certain mental effects because of this, so.
Mm-hmm. Which ones?
Specifically, you gave me a condition immunity of charmed, frightened, grappled, prone, or restrained. And I'm immune to fire damage.
Please roll a Constitution saving throw.
Cool. This'll work. Okay. Con. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. So as you open the book, the first page you've opened to, and you didn't open to like the first page, you just opened the book. And so there's a bunch of pages on your left and right. It's entirely blank. And for a second, you're confused. And then suddenly, the whites on the book become all different colors and through your face and transport you. Suddenly, you're in your childhood home. And it's bizarre because the wind disappears. And you can feel the gentle warmness of the fireplace in the background. And button. There we go. This warm feeling is elongated by your eyes turning toward the kitchen. You can see your mom. And she's standing there, and she turns around. Hey, honey. Welcome home. And she walks towards you, and she wraps you in a massive hug. And the hug is as warm as you remember it to be. And in this hug, you feel a tap on your shoulder. And you spin to see a slightly older Nyx. And she's smiling, and she wraps her arms around you too, and the three of you embrace in this moment. And then, after a second, Nyx looks at your mother, and your mother looks at Nyx, and they go hand in hand toward the kitchen. And you follow behind them slowly. Nyx seems to dance around the kitchen, pulling all manner of vegetables and things from the cupboards and counters. Your mother grabs a knife and begins chopping and dicing and hands you one to help along with her. And in this moment, you're truly fulfilled. You can feel the warmth of the fireplace and the love that you feel for these people around you. And quite a bit of time passes. And the next time you realize that your mind has wandered, you're in the middle of dinner. Nyx and your hand intertwined at the edge of the table while you eat with the free hand, and your mother making some joke that Nyx just started to laugh at. And since startled into this moment, you laugh nervously because you didn't hear the joke, but you don't want to be rude. And finally, time seems to move again. And your mother has a wine glass in hand, and so does Nyx. You yourself have a glass. And you're all standing near the fireplace and chit-chatting after the dinner seems to be put away and the dishes clean. The three of you are having a wonderful conversation, and your mother makes some slightly inappropriate joke about when she's gonna get children. And both you and Nyx laugh it off and say that there's plenty of time for that. Nyx takes your hand and the both of you exit into the night air. And you hear her tell you, let's go home. I'm tired. And seems to take you down a street that you recognize, but you can't put your finger on why you recognize it. And just about the time she opens the door to what is apparently your home, you hear a voice in the middle of this moment. Hey! What are you doing? Now is not the time to daydream. Wake up! And you feel yourself take a point of damage as you feel a force slap you across the face. And suddenly, you're back in the barn.
Is the book still open?
The book is shut and in your hands. You're still in Avatar state.
First things first, in my head, I'm just gonna stare at the book, and I'm gonna call out and say, Surtur?
What?
What was that?
You got it. You got enchanted, boy.
I thought part of the agreement was that I couldn't be enchanted when I invoked your power.
My power is that of a Vanir god, son. I can't help you with those higher beings.
This is of a higher being?
That magic in your hand, I can feel it. It's primal energy. That's older than me.
Is it useful or just dangerous?
I really don't know. When you looked at the book, I got a sneak peek of what was on the page, but I couldn't read it.
You couldn't read it?
I speak a lot of languages. It's a long time to hang out in Valheim and study. Millennia. but I did not recognize those words.
All right. And then no longer speaking in my head, I'm just gonna kind of look up, look towards Nyx and just be like, how long was the book open?
How long was the book open?
About 5 seconds.
Like 5 seconds.
Did anything weird happen out here?
If you want me to describe how it happened outside of the moment, I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So here's what happened. He avatar stated, he opened the book, he stood there, he tilted his head slightly, and he shut the book. And then looked really confused.
I mean, until you looked up at us, nothing weird happened. Why?
And question to the GM,
something happen?
did I have any kind of understanding of how much time passed through what I just experienced?
An entire evening. You were from prepping dinner to going to bed. You literally experienced all of that time.
Okay. Holding the book closed, I'm just gonna kind of look at Nyx and be like, yeah, this book is a problem.
Please, just give it to me.
Lady Estelle, I understand why you want the book.
Please. And she's free tears across her face, and she pulls out her coin purse and hefts it, and it's heavy. And she's...
What does the book do?
Please.
And Amber's just shaking his head.
Please.
Lady Estelle, it's not real. It's not real.
I don't care how real it is. I need it.
Ember's gonna
Ember,
turn towards
what does
Nyx.
the book do?
Ember's gonna turn towards Nyx. From Lady Estelle's reaction and from what I just saw, I think it traps you in a pleasant... It's not a memory. It's more like a desired future.
It's what your heart truly wants.
Now, Surtur said there were words on the book beyond the trap, but that he couldn't read them, and that the magic is stronger than him.
Toss it in the fire.
Blink, blink.
If we could find a way to remove
Kaya,
the
I
trap,
don't think that
it
would
could be
destroy the
useful.
book, for the record. I don't even know.
But it'd make me feel better.
I don't even think you know who out to sea could probably destroy it.
Ooh, let's go find him and find out.
Let's not. He might kill us this time around.
Lady Estelle, I can't in good faith let Nyx sell this to you.
She lets go of both of the girl's hands and runs towards you, drops to her knees, wraps her arms around your legs, and grovels. Please. Please. I need this.
Lady Estelle, it's
why
just
do
gonna
you
kill
want
you.
it?
You don't understand, Nyx. You don't understand.
I can't because you won't tell me.
I've lost everything. All I have is my life.
I'm going to kneel down next to her, put my arm around her shoulders, and go, they may not be able to understand, but I do. I'm going to turn her head so she's looking into my eyes and go, I know what you're feeling. I lost everything. Everyone. I was lost for... I don't even know how many years. But you will find a way to move forward. If they're right, and annoyingly they tend to be.
Remember she said that.
This is a trap. It won't give you any solace. At some point, somebody will come along and close the book, and you'll be jarred back into reality, and the wound will be even fresher than it was. I don't know who you lost beyond your husband. I don't know what friends you lost or had to leave behind. But they would not want this.
She stares blankly, and she's looking at you, but she's looking through you. Her eyes are not focused on you at all. And she starts speaking. I lost my husband. Lost my son. And my daughter.
Child. They had a child after campaign 1.
I was about to say, son?
I lost my town. And everyone in it. I helped a group of adventurers just like yourselves. And one of them came back one day. She came back with an army. There was nothing left. Nothing.
But you said one of the other members of that group helped you.
Yes.
She created a village and she helped you leave. Do you think she would have wanted you to lose yourself to a book of lies?
Listen to me. That girl, she's a woman. She's not a girl. She's a woman. But I have lived 50 of her lifetimes so far. I don't care what she thinks. She can't know what I've been through. No one can. Elves are cursed with longevity. I have up to 400 years left.
Wouldn't it be better than to plot revenge? I don't know about you, but
She
once
likes
I came to
stabbing
my
things
brain-
in anger.
I mean, yes, it's very therapeutic, but
And
I have
she's
been-
sobbing her eyes out, by the way. She's, truly bawling. Her makeup's messed up. And she looks back at both of you. No one gets revenge on her. The ring rules with an iron fist.
A what rules with an iron fist?
For rain.
the ring.
Oh. Was it the ring or the rain?
We
Ring.
all heard
Ring.
different things.
RING.
Ring.
Okay,
It
we're
goes
going
on a
Lord of the
finger.
Rings.
Is there one ring to rule them all?
For them all? Exactly.
Mm.
You know, when she created the group, the Blue Ring, as they're called, I thought she was gonna turn this country around. I had every faith in her. She took everything. Everything. My son was 13 months old.
Nyx is gonna crouch down next to Kea. I grew up, admittedly, very privileged and protected. And the second day out of my city, we found 2 small tiefling children running from their owner. The boy, the older one, he had scars all over his arms, and they were willing to risk freezing and starving to get away. And we managed to help them. We put them on a ship, and we sent them to my family to be taken care of. But the thing that I'm learning, Lady Estelle, is that there are shit people everywhere, and if good people don't push back however they can, the shit people get to just keep on walking all over people like those children and your village and your son. And maybe you can't get revenge, but maybe you can find a way to help other people leave shit situations. Vanderel said you were more powerful than him. I think a woman like you would have been able to help those children far more than we could have. I think a woman like you could help lots of children like them. Lots of other people like them.
You see her face start to change as she starts to focus on you, finally, and starts wiping away the makeup and tears. And after a moment, she looks up at the three of you. All right, then. But I need you three to do me a favor.
Burn this book and so it never sees the light of day? Sold.
No.
I don't think we should burn the book.
I don't think we can burn the book.
What's the favor, Lady Estelle?
In the caldera, once a year or so, and it could be right now, I'm not sure. There's a man who comes to town. His name is Koss. Tell him I'm looking for him.
That we can do. Also, I have a brilliant idea for you. If you're on the revenge track, this other adventure that helped you escape, quite personally, I think you should form a resistance group with her. You can help others like yourself. You can maybe overthrow.
Stop setting up your campaign in my campaign.
Stop it! Campaignception. Stop it.
Stop it.
Why? I want to play with her.
While you're at it, why don't you just go seek out like a wise old teacher at some school somewhere?
Maybe we will.
No, he's dead at this point. But still, like, don't campaign set up.
I mean, do, but don't.
Do it subtly. Like, that's not subtle.
Tasha's resistance fighters. I mean, for some reason, Valrissa is leaving her alone. And I have theories about why that is.
With a big stick.
Druid with a big stick and who intentionally made literal concentric druid circle groves around her town. Like, as her town grew, she made, like, instead of walls, there are just rings of druid groves. Good luck getting through that.
And
Back
Lady
to
Estelle,
this campaign.
And Lady Estelle, where in Caldura would we be able to find Koss?
Well, that's the funny thing about him. You can't really go looking for him.
So do we just ask people?
Yep.
It's us.
Oh god.
I was gonna say, I thought I recognized that name.
Oh Koss. Oh god, because I did the name thing with the first campaign. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I'm like, I know that name. I know that
be
name.
dead at this point.
No, it's only been 50 years.
Oh, it has. Yeah, you're right.
You're only like...
You're like 70.
65? 70?
65, 70. You get stabbed in your elder
Actually,
Twilight
he's
years.
like 25 or something, I think.
In campaign 1?
Huh? No, Ember. He's like 25.
No.
We're talking boss.
What's a Voss? I've never heard of
Koss.
this.
Koss.
What? I have no idea what you speak. What are you talking about?
Okay.
I may actually finally have ideas for campaign 4.
You're welcome.
Well, we will be sure to ask around and tell him, if we can find him, that you are looking for him.
Is there any feature we should be looking for so we know it's him? Does he wear glasses? Always wears a blue jacket?
He has a red scarf.
Of course he does.
Yeah, of course he does.
Look at the note. It says it's a boss.
When your campaign 1 characters start messing with campaign 2.
You did realize that you guys gave me your immediate WotC license to ruin all your characters eventually, right?
Don't ruin boss!
What do you mean? I ain't doing anything wrong with the character. I'm just gonna walk around and talk like this and do things that I might normally do as a spazzy old man. It's not the problem.
Okay, that's spot on for the character.
You're welcome.
On brand.
On brand. Now do you see why I want to do campaign 4?
Yep. As for this, and Voss is gonna kind of move the book around.
Boss.
Ember?
Voss.
Ember?
Look what you've done. Ember's gonna kind of move the book around.
I suggest we get a strap and we
Yes.
close it.
Once
Anybody got a belt?
There might be a way if we can figure out how to remove the trap. This actually might end up being helpful. But I can't currently do that, and Nyx, I don't know if you can, but maybe we could start researching how to remove curses.
Or whatever that is.
Are we sure it's a curse?
Cursey trap?
My guess would be either a curse or a trap. I mean, I could try... yes, Lady
Isabel?
I detected magic on it before I took it from your possession. It has primal magic. It's a curse.
Okay.
Curse it is. But maybe when we're researching this, Nyx and Kea, maybe we don't mention what we have. Maybe we just mention we know of a cursed object that we're trying to...
Speaking of
release.
objects, Ember, you have a stick.
I do have a stick. We haven't really examined that yet, but yeah, I do have the
you
staff.
do have a stick. We should probably make sure that's also not cursed.
I mean, it didn't...
Or trapped or otherwise, you know.
It didn't try to possess me when I picked it up, but...
The book didn't try to possess us when we picked it up either.
I mean, that's fair. Who does anybody have anything they can bind this book with? Like, I don't have any... I mean, I have rope.
I got 50 feet of rope.
I got rope. The rope that we have, GM, how thick is it? Like sailor rope, where it's like yay thick, or is it like?
So hempen rope is exactly what they use on boats. It is about like this.
It's thick.
Okay, so yeah, that's pretty thick.
It's the thickness of a silver dollar.
Yeah.
Nyx is gonna pull some hair ribbons out of her bag, and she has those, and try to like use a hair ribbon to temporarily close the book.
Yeah.
Not the best.
No, but we can probably try to find a better way of fashioning something. We can look into that.
And you see Estelle get up and like brush the dirt off of her dress. I'm gonna head back inside and see if I can find some more ale for the time being. It was very nice meeting the three of you. And tell Koss I'll be here if you see him.
I'm just gonna look at her and go, it only numbs the pain for so long, and eventually it stops working.
And she just walks off back towards the lollygag.
Nyx is gonna go look at Kay and go, pretty sure beer is not a pain reliever.
Oh, it works wonderfully if you drink enough of it.
Isn't that because you stop being able to feel things? Like your fingers and your toes?
I'm gonna stand up and clap her on the shoulder and go, now you get it!
Ow. Ow. That hurts.
Eventually, you just stop caring.
Ember's gonna kind of like adjust his bag, but then notice that he still has like the after image of Surtur on him and be like, oh yeah. And he's just gonna like kind of like shrug off the avatar state.
By the way.
Yeah.
That book. I don't recognize those words. But I'm betting I know someone who does. And if they're still on Midgard, we can totally get it.
Who's that?
I don't want to tell you just yet. Let's get to Caldura first, and then remind me.
Sure.
Just keep that thing bound, alright?
Yeah, sounds like an adventure.
That's the
What?
That's the idea.
We freaking buy.
Woo! We bought our next campaign plot, guys. That's what we did.
What do I add to my inventory? Just
mysterious leather-bound book.
Basically.
Cursed book.
Yep.
Cursed book.
Cursed book.
And I'm gonna write a note that says Surtur wants me to remind him later.
Useful.
Surtur is cousin.
No, you. So where are you guys headed next?
We were looking for food.
For food, so back inside.
In the inn, and Nyx is putting the book in her bag, like at the bottom under all of her other stuff, and in the process goes, wait, did I always have these? And holds up hat, scarf, gloves.
Oh look, you finally went through your bag!
Anyways, puts those back on top.
As you guys get back to the bar, Vanderel is looking you all up and down. And
later.
So, how did everything go?
Oh, it's cursed.
It's cursed.
Of course it is. Rory, these three look hungry. You want to whip them something up?
Please.
Also, we need 2 rooms for the night.
You just see. And then a few minutes later, you hear, oh. From behind the bar. After a few minutes, Rory comes around the counter with his signature apron on and awkwardly passes a plate to each one of you. There is a hunk of meat, a piece of pretty aggressively hard bread, and a thick chunk of cheese, as well as what is apparently a fruit juice of some type that he gives each one of you.
Ooh.
Nice.
What fruit does it taste like?
Huh?
What fruit does it taste like?
I'll get to that. Vanderel looks at you guys and goes, so the food plus the rooms. We're gonna call it a silver piece.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look at him and raise an eyebrow.
And he looks at you and he does one of these with his eyes and he points to Estelle with his eyes, who is now drinking water. And he goes,
I'm just gonna nod my head and look
And I'm
back
gonna
down.
hand him a silver. Oh,
also, we're
Clydesdale.
stabling a horse.
Yep.
uh-huh.
Only for one night.
Where did
I
you guys
swear,
get a
this
horse?
time
Did
we're
you buy
really
it from
leaving.
Quirrell?
No. We sold him a goat and
2 ponies.
Ponies?
You went to the circus.
We went to the circus.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
By the way, there might be a fire out in the middle of the woods.
Uh-huh. Oh, of course there is. What happened to the rest of the animals? The dangerous ones?
Oh.
They went off into the mountains.
Yep.
But don't worry, they promised us that they wouldn't harm anybody.
The animals promised you that they
Oh, he
wouldn't
wants the
harm
animals.
anybody.
Did we forget to leave that part out?
Whatever. If they get too close to town, I'll sick Tim on them. And in the corner, you see the chair wiggle.
Well, I promised they wouldn't, so it should be fine.
I mean, they know the dangers that humans pose to them, or so they claimed.
Okay.
We tried.
2 rooms and 3 meals. Enjoy your evening. And Vanderel finishes polishing the cup, and he puts it down, and he turns around the bar, and it's like 7 o'clock, and heads upstairs.
It's 7 o'clock? We lost 7 hours?
What?
It was 12:30 when we started.
You came in here
the
for
campaign.
dinner. You literally asked for dinner.
Food. She meant food.
Yeah, sorry, food.
Food.
Okay,
We
then
still have the library.
It's like 2 in the afternoon, then.
Thank you.
I was like, thank you. How did we lose 7 hours bartering over animals?
Oh, stressing me out. Don't say the time of day and then assume that I'm going to contradict you, because I'm just going to go with it.
Food. See,
Okay,
you also have to remember,
so-
for me, dinner is just that weirdy meal that isn't breakfast.
Vanderel walks upstairs uncharacteristically at 2 in the afternoon, leaving you guys to eat your food. The bard is playing. Other patrons are doing what they do. Fireplace going. And Estelle sitting at the end of the bar, sipping some water.
Is he okay?
I'm sure she'll be fine with time.
No,
Him.
Him.
Vanderel.
You see,
Oh, Vanderel.
just tired.
Okay.
Estelle looks over at the 3 of you and she kind of rubs her head for a second. Seems Rory really likes you. He doesn't ever talk to anyone.
I mean, he's Rory. He's just adorable.
I was gonna say charming.
No, adorable.
He's, and she's just gonna gesture to Ember. The same.
Nah,
I'm very
I
confused.
disagree with that.
Lady
Ember has the
Estelle looks
potential.
at Ember and then looks at the wall where she knows Rory's on the other side, and she looks at Ember again. I guess I can see it.
Right?
More like he'll grow into it, but yeah, I can see it.
I'm very confused.
It's okay.
I'm just gonna pat him on
Not
the back.
surprising.
It's all right. Someday, when you're older, you'll understand.
I hated that excuse as a kid.
Mm-hmm. And you're still gonna get it, because there are so many things you won't understand. Hopefully ever.
Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we are going to take our break. We're like 12 minutes ahead of when we would normally take the break. But this is a good spot in the story to do it, and what's gonna happen the next couple of things, there won't really be a good spot, so we're gonna do it now, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds fair.
Hello. What did you put in our hands? I would. Very much. Yeah. How? Except for the bit where I'm trying to figure out how to get Nyx into how to get my 3D digital into Hero Forge. Or yeah, you knew where I was going with this. Yes. Yep. Of course I do. I have an access key. Is that it? It is a long-ass string of numbers. Okay. Settings... Hero Forge access key. What? Control V.
Welcome
Thank you.
back, creeps.
Who are you calling a creep?
Calling y'all creeps. Creep. What would you explain somebody or something that watches everybody and everything on everything they do? All the time. Great. Twizzler. Because it's the
There she is.
the rainbow package.
Mm-hmm. Sugar.
Yes. You said popsicles. These are pretty cold.
Bad Gillen. Bad.
Bad
Fail.
Gillen.
Come back when you doctor.
I'm not studying to be a doctor, though.
Oh. Sorry.
No, she just didn't want to rejoin us.
No, I was putting Nyx in Hero Forge. Or in... God damn it. Tailspire.
Okay, so we left off with you guys eating food.
Yes.
That is over. What are we doing now?
To the library! I
Yeah, I
have
was
a
just
librarian to
saying-
annoy.
I think we were gonna go try to do some research.
Okay.
Extra research now.
Okay, so you bid your farewells to Estelle and the Rory, who is now awkwardly standing behind the bar, and leave. Across town doesn't take you very long. Maybe 25 to 30 minutes to get to Estelle's. No, Andy's library. But as soon as you walk in, the all too familiar, oppressing atmosphere of the large, almost forge-like heater, and the extreme silence of the place. Andy, in the exact same green and gold coat and white blouse, with the glasses sitting on the edge of their nose, has a curled hand with a quill in it and is looking at all three of you.
We were hoping to do some research in your library?
She pushes up the glass, or they push up the glasses. What kind of research?
Nyx is gonna look at Kea.
Jormungandr, Thor, Odin, Jormungandr's kin,
And then I kind of wanted to study a little bit about curses and maybe possibly how to break them.
I also just want to look at ritual magic. I know it's a thing, but I don't remember the things that are needed for it.
and what I was going to say before these two cut me off, I just didn't know how to
You paused.
word it. Yes, I paused. Gather my thoughts. Big blacks that don't occur normally in the nearby oceans. I don't know what to look under.
Okay, well. And you see them stop for a second. And those brilliant green eyes and elf ears turn to Nyx. What on earth is in your bag?
And she just immediately, like, courtier poker face, like, and just personal items.
No. No, nothing of yours is that powerful, dear. Okay. So here's how we'll do this. You, the study of curses that is under violent magics on the right side, far back, last 2 rows. You, the study of weather patterns, Norse mythology, and the fables associated are all in the restricted section at the back left and through the door. You, if you want books on ritual magic, you'll need to buy them. Libraries don't carry magical tomes of that nature. This isn't a college. It's a library.
Theoretical tomes?
If it's theory you look for, I have 1 book. It's in the restricted section as well, so follow the dragon here, and when she goes left to those stack, you go right. But to use my library, I require payment, since you don't have a library card. I want to see the book in your bag.
You can see it. You may not open it.
You are not in any position to bargain.
I'm saying you
We
cannot
implore you not to
open
it. It's dangerous.
Yes.
Okay, sure. What's so dangerous about this book?
It's cursed.
Okay. And what's the curse?
It sucks you into a false reality of something you want.
Ah. Okay, well, you don't have to worry about me. Let me see the book.
Nyx is gonna take her bag off. She's gonna look at Kea like, you'll fight her for it, right? And
I'm just gonna raise an eyebrow like, duh.
And take the book out, wrapped up in a hair, like a satin hair ribbon, and hand it to her. Gingerly.
Andy takes the book and unwraps the ribbon and looks at the 3 of you. You know, I've been a librarian for longer than the 3 of you have been alive. And they tap their spectacles, which are hooked to a chain but don't go over their ears. There's no backside to them. Mm-hmm. They're just sitting on their nose. And they push them up, and with their middle finger, which has they have nails, they tap with the nail, and little green sparks fly off of the pair of glasses, and they open the book and start flipping through the pages slowly. Wow. Oh, quite the book you have here. And they look down, flip another page, and look back up at the 3 of you. Where on earth did you get it?
From a merchant in town.
Which one?
The Tabaxi.
Quirrell? Interesting. Why did he have it?
Said he found it.
He didn't give us details.
Yeah, of course he didn't. Little thief. They flip through, they literally flip through every single page of the book, and then shut the book and push it across the table. And keeping their hand on it, they wait for Nyx to step up and tie the ribbon.
Yeah. Doop, doop, doop.
My recommendation with a book like this is you'll need to first get rid of that nasty curse. And once you do, the code inside should be pretty easy to break. I had about 24 letters of it broken just reading through. As far as I could tell, it's full of spells.
So it is a spell book like I thought.
Enjoy the library. And they kind of push the spectacles down their nose back a little bit further and just watch you all.
That is both impressive and terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm leaning more towards terrifying.
Yep, because Vanderel couldn't, and Estelle couldn't, and
Surtur couldn't.
Yeah.
Surtur couldn't.
Yeah. Hey.
Serta couldn't even.
Can we take her adventuring with us?
Nix is
Guys,
just gonna be like, you
the
might want to
librarian's
ask.
a god.
Yep. Nix was about to be like,
Thor?
you want to ask Serta if librarian's his friend?
He doesn't. And under my like kind of under my breath, I'm just gonna say.
I'm assuming we're like walking back into the stacks.
Well, my area's in a different area, so I have to go a different way.
Nix was gonna walk with you for a moment. And
Oh,
then...
okay. Ember's just gonna reply. Serta doesn't like it when I ask him too many questions. I kind of have to be careful.
All right. Well, the librarian could read the code when he couldn't.
Yeah.
In your head, you hear, yeah, I'm kind of vexed about all that.
Yeah, he's a little vexed about that, apparently.
Okay. Well, if you need help code breaking, or figuring out the curse breaking, come find me. I don't think I'll find much on ritual magic, so I'll probably circle back to you.
Alrighty.
And then Nix is
I am nose deep in books on weather pattern. Why am I reading books on weather patterns?
You asked for it.
I said big blacks.
She took it to mean weather.
It could be in a shadow.
Yeah.
Do I find anything useful?
On what?
On all of the above. If we were correct in thinking Jormungandr was the big black,
Okay.
Jormungandr.
Whoa. That's not how we're
gonna
gonna
roll
do
for
this.
all of it.
Yeah.
You gotta roll.
This
Which is why I
a
took inspiration.
tabletop game. Sorry. You don't get to just get info. So let's start with Amber.
I don't get to find with the lore? Come on, it should be just a lore drop somewhere, and I find it.
Relax. Amber.
Yep.
You're looking for information on curses. What specifically are you looking for? I can help narrow down the search.
How to release curses or disband curses.
Okay. So I need you to roll me an investigation check with advantage because you're in a library and been told where the book is.
Sweet. Dirty 20.
Okay. So with a dirty 20, and we'll talk about how long this takes in a bit, but I'll give you the information first. As you're reading through an old dusty tome with clearly some papyrus paper, old school papyrus paper, because the actual page edges are like browning slightly, and they're becoming kind of hard and not pliable anymore. And as you're kind of pulling through this book, you find a passage specifically on how curses are created. And as you read through, it says, the origin of a curse is what makes and binds the curse. Understanding and uncovering the origin allows one to break the curse into its components parts once more.
Okay. Can I do anything else with that information? Like, do I have time to look for anything else?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. So knowing that, I would try to see if I could find a way, or if there's any information that would lead me towards how to identify the source of a curse. Like,
okay.
Are there methods to identifying a source of a curse?
In that same book, towards the back, it gives a brief explanation of the same thing. It basically says that understanding the curses, school of magic, the caster, and the origin of the magic used are the three things needed.
Okay, and that was type of magic, the caster, and what was the last one?
Origin of the magic.
So the type of magic, the caster, and the origin of the magic?
Mm-hmm.
Like druidic or sorcerer or...
No. There are three.
No? Okay.
Okay. meta for a second. There are 3 origins of magic, as defined in one of the more recent D&D books. Actually, it's for D&D 1. But it's actually also in D&D 3.5. So, the 3 origins of magic are arcane, divine, and primal.
Okay.
So, arcane is of man, divine is of gods, and primal is of primals.
Alright, so knowing what Ember knows about this already, it's probably primal. He already cast Detect Magic on the book and got Evocation and Primal. So he could assume, I'm just thinking out loud, he could assume Evocation is the type of magic. So now he just needs to know the caster. Okay. I don't know if there's anything else that I could research. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I could research right now.
Then we'll move to Kaya's perspective. Kaya, what's the first thing you're looking for?
I'm going to... Let's look into Jormungandr first.
Okay, roll me an investigation with advantage. I wanted to give this a little more of a flowing feel, but I want to make sure everybody gets what they want out of it, so I'm going to give the time elapsed and everything at the end.
Yeah.
You are dead to me. That'd be a 6. I find nothing.
Oh, you don't know that.
So, what was you said what? The origins of what?
I wanted to look into Jormungandr first.
Okay. What specifically? There's a lot of information on Jormungandr in these books.
Whether or not he had children, when was he last known to be in the world, according to myth?
I actually have
how
this right
he
here.
was locked up, that sort of thing.
No, she just kept going with questions. I told her to hold on.
So, with a 6, the writing is going to be smudged.
Okay.
So, before his smudged, Jormungandr, like all of the smudged, carefully sired heirs. His brother, Fafnir, and sister, Smudged, sired many, but Jormungandr's choices baffled his siblings. He sired only 3 children total. From Fafnir's brood, producing a silver, a bronze, and a gold. Each of them had telltale markings of green scales latticing across their metallics. Little is known about what happened. Smudge, 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 smudge. After Thor put the beast into the sea, the children of Jormungandr presumably went into hiding, for fear of smudge, 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 smudged.
Hold on, can you back up to what put him to sea?
Thor.
After Thor put the beast into the sea, the children of Jormungandr presumably went into hiding, for fear of smudge, 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 smudged.
Gotcha. Okay. So that information is going to have, if anyone was watching me, I'd have like slightly shaking hands going, fuck. Then I actually would go more religions related to Jormungandr.
Okay. You're in the restricted section and rolled a 6, so you're gonna find nothing on that.
Can I re-roll when I move to a new topic?
No. You know what? I'll tell you what. If the other 2 agree, you can re-roll once. But they can't.
Fine by me.
Can I make a proposal?
Mm-hmm.
Because after writing this down, I realized that there's something else that I neglected to research. Could we spend more time and she get a second roll?
How long?
Or Andy kicks us out.
It would depend on how much time we're currently spending to do this amount of research.
About 3 hours.
An extra hour.
2, 5.
Make it 2, and yeah.
You guys okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll get back to you in a bit, Gil. Go ahead and re-roll with advantage.
Don't forget guidance.
Yeah, I was thinking that in my head and I didn't say it out loud, which means I'm fucked. Come on. You're dead to me too.
Oh boy.
That's a 7. I didn't do any better.
Oh.
Sorry. Thank you though. So moving to you said religions. I find nothing. Moving to Odin.
What are you looking for on Odin?
Rumors on what he's doing until Ragnarok.
Okay, so that would be in the same area, so you're definitely going to find something. After flipping through several books and finding mostly what he did previously and how many times he was in an affair, you eventually find a report on what they are assumed to be doing in their myths based on their personalities. And in a passage titled, "The God of Wisdom and Knowledge," which is Odin, you get a passage that reads as follows. Though, Smudge, current whereabouts are not necessarily known, we can see through our prayers and devout, Smudge, that the 2 ravens are doing their work. Period. So it means that the All-Father, Smudge, on throne, and Smudge is well.
Then I'm gonna look into Thor and what the beef is between him and Jormungandr, and then what he might be up to.
Okay.
Still with a 7, so smudgy.
Smudge.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think the books are smudged. I think you just think they are because your eyes are watery and library lighting, and it's just not working out for you.
This tracks.
Okay, so looking for Thor. You said you're looking to find out what his deal is with Jormungandr?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there is a book on that. It's a fable. And it's titled Thor and the Cat of the Sea. And it basically says, it says, once upon a time, Thor, after drinking many steins from the mead in Hall's Valhalla, decided to drop down to Midgard and go on a fishing trip. He took a Jotun named Fifnir with him, and the 2 of them set about fishing. Fifnir was winning pretty aggressively throughout the evening, and Smudge fell overside and was drowned. Smudge then pulled one final time on his rod, and from the sea came a nearly 40-foot long cat. Smudge, C-A-T, yeah. Smudge, fighting for many hours. Eventually, the fur became scales, and the scales grew larger. And the longer Smudge, the more large it became. Growing desperate, Smudge decided to use Mjolnir. One mighty blow followed with a heralding of Smudge, and the beast fell to the sea. There, smudge, 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 chains. Smudge, smudge. For the rest of time until Ragnarok. You gotta roll better. The DC was so low. Fuck's sake.
DC was like a 10, wasn't it?
Yeah. You're level 6. It's a 10. Come on.
I tried.
2
oh, look.
With advantage.
This is the dice I should have been rolling. That was a 12. Oh, and this one? Yeah, that's a 13. Yeah, this is the one I should have been rolling. For kicks. 2. 8. Yeah, even its lows were fucking higher.
What else did you want to know? Who's enjoying these smudged up books? Anyone? Huh?
I'm just like eating
frustrated.
Cheetos, reading the books. Like,
You know, I did this with another group that I had a D&D session with. The theys that I spent some time with, and I gave them like a lore journal from one of the characters. They spent like 30 minutes reading pages from it, just so they could hear me speak in an accent. Because it was like he was a pirate character, but he was an Englishman who got onto a pirate ship. So I spent a lot of time talking about how I was going to help her in my journal. Next page. Today 47. It was like that, and they literally like.
Story time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in that case, I'm. That was also. And what's he been up to since? And according to.
In that same book that you found, the Odin, what's he been up to? There is one on Thor as well. The god of thunder and war. Although not much is known about Thor, his penchant for violence and his temper are legendary. So it can be surmised, smudge, 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 smudge. His location is unknown, period. Though when we examine the texts, we can assume, smudge, 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 doing Odin's dirty work, smudge, smudge, probably lots of death, period.
Okay, and then last, anything else that could be rare but be considered big black at sea.
You find a lovely book on orcas, and you spend nearly 20 minutes discovering that that is not what you were looking for.
this is fair.
This is fair.
Okay, so Nyx, if you're cool with it, you're gonna wait a little longer. I want to go back to Gil, get what he needs, and then come to you, and we can finish things out. Okay, Gil.
Oh, I was fine with waiting, but sure. There were two things that I wanted
You're
to...
higher on the camera. So
Oh,
I'm like
so it's
keeping a
easier to
list.
remember. Got it. So the first thing that I wanted to do is something I realized I didn't ask, and that was, it told me that the key to breaking a curse was those 3 elements, but did it say what to do after I knew those 3 elements of the curse? Like how to actually break it?
No, it didn't.
Okay, did it hint at like how I could find out what to do with those 3 things?
No. It's on theory, man. It's on theory
That's
alone.
It?
Yeah.
Did it say any particular group of people that might have more information on curses?
The dude in your head?
Like, well, I'm trying not to rely on him. Like anybody, like, does it say who might specialize in curse knowledge, or like maybe I look at like who wrote the books, maybe? The authors?
That's an interesting idea.
Losing my seat cushion. Fixed it.
Digging through that section, frustrated by the lack of actual practical application of those breaking of curses. You find one book titled Curses and How to Break Them. Seems like a very useful book. And after skimming several pages, you realize it has all the same information that you've already read with no actual explanation on how to break the curse. And as you get to the very last page, it says, if you want to learn how to break a curse for yourself, come see the author. And it has a little description of who the author is. Give me 1 second, I gotta pull something up here.
And it's Andy.
For a fee of $9.99.
At the back of the book, there is an individual, an author's photo of an individual. They have blue skin, elf ears, bright blue tattoo lines all over their face. They're wearing 3 sets of earrings on one ear, and the other ear is covered by a mess of snow white fluffy hair. They have features that you can't discern their sex. And there's several long golden pieces of jewelry that hang from their ears and their neck, as well as there's 2 piercings of gold on their eyebrows. Their eyes are a brilliant blue, and their clothes are... well, their clothes are quite expensive looking. They're dark purples and golds.
They're in a shod.
Okay. Any names?
Yeah. 1 second. Fjorden Faust.
Grand Minister Faust. Yeah, as soon as you say that name, Nyx is gonna go, yeah, good luck.
Alright, Fjorden Faust. And would Ember know who Fjorden Faust is, living where we live? Okay. Wasn't sure. Didn't think so, but wasn't sure.
Nope.
I'm sure Nyx probably has a clue.
Yeah, okay. The other thing I wanted to do with the remainder of Ember's time is a pretty simple thing. And if we need to do this at the end, that's fine too. But he basically just wants to go back to the librarian to ask her something about the book.
Okay, we'll wait on that. Nyx.
Okay.
I would like to research the particulars behind the theory of ritual magic, especially ritual magic that isn't inherent to your class.
Okay. So in a book titled The Basics to Ritual Casting, you find in a pretty cut and dry explanation, almost textbook-like explanation of how it works. It reads as, no, give me your investigation with, whatever the fuck, advantage. Almost forgot.
Well, that's a natural 20.
I could have forgot.
She
for 21?
got my rolls.
I got 21. What you needed.
Yes, I had the most info to find.
You could have asked for help.
I forgot to give myself help.
You could have asked for someone else to help you, and that would have given you 2 options to roll. Anyway,
I was going to assume someone else would be interested in finding out the same info.
We're all looking at other things.
So,
and you didn't ask for
I'm
help.
gonna read the passage to you real quick, and you can get... If you follow example 1, you can end up casting a light spell without using any of the magic within your body. This is called a ritual cast. All ritual casts are performed the same way. A set amount of time, dependent on the cast, has to be given in exchange for completing the ritual cast. These ritual casts are concentric circles followed by runes, and the activation of such uses a small amount of magic. The higher level the spell, the more magic is used, but in comparison to normal casting any spell, the ritual cast uses nearly nothing. No components are needed unless the spell specifies otherwise, and ritual casts are, in their essence, the simplest form of magic.
I mean, she's got free time. I mean, that probably didn't take her long to find and
What else are you
read.
looking for?
So she would have circled, she would have gone to each of them and been like, need help?
At which point I would have said yes.
Okay. Roll. Nyx, roll to Helkea. This is at regular, not advantage.
Okay. How do you like another natural 20?
What do
Heidi.
you want to ask?
Dear Lord God Almighty.
This is the dice you bought me.
Nice.
Helping you.
Where
You got
where
that off
did...
Etsy.
I did, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. Anyways, Heidi, what would you like help with most?
Pick one.
All of the Jormungandr stuff.
Jormungandr, as a whole.
Okay.
As a whole. So, myth, theory, religion, the whole shebang.
Start brushing the Cheeto dust off.
Before his imprisonment, Jormungandr, like all of the Elderkin, carefully sired heirs. His brother Fafnir and sister Nidhogg sired many, but Jormungandr's choices baffled his siblings. He only sired 3 children in total, from Fafnir's brood, producing 1 silver, 1 bronze, and 1 gold. Each of them had telltale markings, green scales latticing across their metallic scales. Little is known about what happened to the prodigy of Jormungandr, but after Thor put the beast into the sea, the children of Jormungandr presumably went into hiding for fear of Thor's blood oath against their father.
That was important information buried under the Cheeto dust.
Yep.
So don't get noticed, guys.
Oh, too
Too
late.
late. In regards to religion question,
What was the religion question?
are there religions relating to Jormungandr at all? Because I'm assuming I'm aware of Thor and Odin and Freya and Heimdall.
Okay. Like all of the beings, mythical and otherwise, that seem to come from Norse mythology, Jormungandr too has a church that worships him, like all of the Elderkin. These acolytes of Jormungandr seem to prefer the sea to land and often make churches on islands. Little is known about their practices, but much is shrouded intentionally by these groups. They seem to dislike outsiders and often actively avoid other people. The author of this novel actually tried to talk to one to get them to comment. They drew a weapon.
Oh, this is like that island in the Indian Ocean.
Yep. You're a stranger.
Aliens.
I over-prepared for this episode.
We still got an hour.
Like, stressing,
We still got an hour.
I'm like, I don't know if you
library.
Yeah, there's a library.
Jump.
Yeah, I knew about the library, but I didn't.
We didn't know about the book, okay?
He knew about the book.
He knew about the book.
I didn't know about the book. So
You literally just added the book?
Uh-huh. Does that surprise you?
No, but...
I love it.
GM bar here. Current GM bar of myself somewhere down there. Problematic for campaign 4?
You'll get there. We'll run some merc guilds.
Is there any way I could attach the big black to that, since we want to know if Jormungandr is the big black?
There's nothing in the library about the big black, even if you rolled 7 nat 20s in a row.
Okay.
Fair.
I had to try.
Yeah, Nyx,
Sorry,
by the way, while
birds
she's
don't
reading
write
these
books.
she's
Birds
just
do not
like
write books.
very carefully, like brushing like
Whatever smudges are on
The
them.
Jar
dust
in the
or
book.
whatever it is, yeah.
just as she's going, and I just feel Kaya, but like being behind her, just like tapping her foot, arms crossed, fuming, like, well, I could have done that.
Okay, so 5 hours have passed. Are you guys leaving the library? What are we doing?
I want to talk to the librarian before we leave.
Right. But what are we doing?
I'm
You know what?
assuming we're
We'll do it in character. So,
Yeah.
the three of you catch back up to one another and head back towards the front of the library where Andy is sat. They are watching you carefully with their spectacles on the edge of their nose. Did you find what you were looking for?
I found a lot of the information that I was looking for.
I think I found what I was looking for, and some of what she was looking for.
I was wondering if you could help me with one more thing, though, before we leave.
What is it?
That, we'll call it special book, that we showed you when we first got here. You wouldn't happen to know who wrote that book, or maybe created that curse?
Well, I know who wrote the book.
Might I
says
inquire
it
as
in
to
the
who
back.
that is?
Yeah.
Since I can't read it.
It says it's written by Hela.
Written by...
Yay! And my character's under breath going to do exactly that. Yay!
Okay. That's fantastic. Thank you. That helps a lot.
Make sure the three of you don't try to read it. The only reason I can is because of these.
Nyx is gonna cock her head to the side and go, wait a moment. The merchant told us he opened it and that it had spells, like you confirmed, in it.
How did he read it?
Exactly.
Beats me. Honestly, I would be surprised if anyone else in town could read it.
Maybe he was just guessing at that.
Meh, could be.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much for your help.
I'm serious.
Thank you.
The curse that it has on it's a nasty one, and if you don't have something like this, you won't be able to get through it.
Oh, trust me.
We have no plans to open it until we can break it.
We don't have any plans of opening it or trying to read it until we can break the curse.
Alright.
Thank you for your help, though.
I can't see how you're ever going to manage to break the curse, but good luck to you.
Might I ask why?
You know what? Sure. Do you know the Aesir god, Freya?
I've heard the stories.
She's the goddess of wisdom. And my patron. These glasses are hers. She is an Aesir. Nothing less will suffice. Because it was an Aesir who wrote the book. And presumably the curse. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take care.
Bye. And they just
gonna leave.
Rub my forehead as we walk out the door, going.
Nix's brain just went. We're like persona non grata with the Aesir gods. Like.
Alright, making a note. Don't mess with the librarian is or has a patron contract with Freya.
I mean, they were presumably, according to the girls, in a party with Vanderel and Rory, who are 18th level characters.
Yeah, but it's a little different when somebody has a patron with an Aesir god. That's a little different. That could mean she's either a cleric or warlock.
You can't decide which.
Or a paladin, but...
I mean, yeah, paladins have a viable choice.
Alright. So, after we leave there, is it like... We spent 5 hours in a library. Is it like night at this point?
It's around 7 o'clock.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought.
It's evening.
So it should be like, what? Sunsetting or...
Sun has set about an hour ago.
Set. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's nearing winter, so...
So it's early.
Right.
Yeah, it's the time where it's down at like 6:45.
So as we convene or kind of walk on our way, or kind of just leave the library, Nyx, Kea, did you guys find what you were looking for?
Yes and no.
I mean, I found what I was looking for. Is refresher course on how to do ritual magic, because I don't pay attention, and they didn't cover that very well in school. That was a wizard thing, and they were like, you don't need to know this.
Well, as far as the book is concerned, I found out to break a curse, we have to know the type of magic, the caster of the magic the caster of the curse, and the what did I write down? The source of the magic, the origin of the magic. I believe I know 2 of those, but I don't know the creator of the curse, so that would be the tough part. And the books didn't really specify what to do with that information once you know it, but it did say that somebody called, and he'll kind of look at it, his little notepad that he had. It did say that maybe somebody called Jordan Faust might know a little bit more on how to break a curse.
Nyx is just, yeah, we're not going to be able to see him.
Why's that? Do you know him?
Grand Minister Faust?
Oh, is that the Grand Minister?
Yes. Do you know how hard it is to see that man? He is very busy. Doing what? I don't know, but...
And that might be challenging.
Yeah, I don't think... Although...
Don't you have a ball that is coming up, or I remember you muttering about dresses and how you didn't want to go?
Doesn't mean he's gonna be there.
I thought it was some uppity ball.
Yeah.
Party thing.
Well, suffice
focused
to
more
say,
on young people.
He might not be our only avenue, but that's the remaining 2 things we need to know to break that curse, is who created the curse and what to do with that information once we know it.
So we have a couple of possibilities. If he wrote any more material on curse breaking, it's probably somewhere in a shard.
Okay.
Probably in one of the libraries.
So when we return... I don't know if they'll let me into the libraries, but maybe you could help look there?
I could probably look.
I mean, am I safe to assume that, GM?
They will not let you into the libraries.
Yeah, okay, that was
There
a
are no
good call on my
libraries
part.
in the lower ring.
I didn't think so. I was just making sure that was a safe assumption on my part as to what Ember would know.
You're good.
Okay. You laughed, so I wasn't sure.
It's perfect.
The
It's
other
a great assumption.
thought I had was, so we know the book was written by Hela.
Uh-huh.
Now, either Hela herself cursed the book for some reason, or an enemy of Hela cursed the book.
Okay.
Might I cut into this moment there, bud?
Oh, Surtur. Sure. I was like, who the heck is following us? Sure, Surtur, what you got?
The magic that we saw from the book was primal, right?
Yep.
Hela is an Aesir god. Her magic is divine.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, just like mine.
Might I ask where primal magic comes from?
Primals. The opposite of gods.
Oh. And talking to the GM here, does Ember know anything about the primals? Like any stories or anything?
The only one you know of is Fenrir.
Oh.
Got it. Okay. Alright. It's not good.
Letting the story unfold.
So, hey, Nix.
Yeah?
Surtur just brought up a very valid point that I didn't know and gave me some valuable information. He pointed out that Hela is Aesir, so her magic is divine, not primal. And the book had the curse had the typings of primal in evocation. So more than likely the curse was laid on by a primal.
Okay, so that rules out Aesir god and the Vanir gods.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't know much about the primals. I only know about Fenrir. That's it.
Does primals ring a bell in my head?
I mean, you studied school like anyone else, so a little bit, yeah. Is there anything specific you want to know?
Like who the primals are, or like the general group?
You know what? Give me a history check. I'm not just gonna give it to you. This is basic.
Let's see if you paid attention in school.
This is basic D&D lore, by the way.
Yeah, well, we don't know it.
Okay, well,
And we're not going to try to metagame it.
fair enough.
Yeah, I don't want to just look it up.
So, you do remember that basically the primals are opposites to divine beings or gods. And there are multiple categories of god and primals have stages and titles, rankings, just like gods do. Like a Vanir versus an Aesir versus an outer god.
Good girl.
Right? And then with primals, they have typings as well and rankings. The individuals that are in the primal category themselves are mostly beasts, so they didn't have names necessarily. But you remember that primals specifically typically have an element of nature tied to them in some way, and they are the counterbalance to gods.
Okay.
Basically, within the grander scheme of things, Shin, the outer god, set up the world so that gods and primals keep each other in balance, and anytime they get out of balance, more are created to compensate. They're the yin to each other's yang.
Okay.
And just how gods can be both good and evil, so too can primals. It depends on who their counterpart is.
Would I recall any primals from my time sitting at our shaman and storyteller's knees?
History check.
Better.
First, I'm gonna cast guidance on myself.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
We all just need a sign that we can just hold up. Guidance. Guide me.
That is a nat 1. This is why I wasn't using this one at first, because the lighting sucks. Yeah, that's a nat 1.
Oh dear.
So I'm not going to even bother, because the most I can get is a 5.
With a 5, you remember the shaman mentioning something called a Foss Grim, or a Foss Grimmin.
Spell that for the plebeians?
Fossegrimen.
Okie dokie. Would I recall what he said about it?
No.
No. Okay.
All that you remember is that one of the primals is called Foss Grimmin.
Nix, in any of your learning, did you ever read about a Foss Grimmin?
Your score is high enough, yes you did.
Yeah?
I don't know, it's the only one I can recall about being a primal.
I mean, I'm more interested in who an enemy of Hela would be. Or someone who would be opposed to what Hela stands
Let's start with the
for.
two that we can remember. What does your sleepy school brain remember about them? Who were their enemies? Who were their pros? What was their cons? Also, this one is now in jail too.
Do we need to get you a dunce cap chair for your dice?
Yes.
So you can shame them?
Mm-hmm.
We need to get you a bench and multiple dunce
Shame.
caps.
Shame.
Do I remember any figures that would be sort of Hela's enemies, or at least, like, opposed to her, like, what she stands for?
No. I will give you what you do remember, so everybody has this information, at least meta. Okay? There are 3, no, scratch that, 5 primals that you are aware of if you think about it. So, you have Foss Grimmin, which is a water spirit, and is the primal to Surtur.
Makes sense.
Yep.
You have Fenrir, which is a primal, and is primal 2. I gotta check my notes. I feel like I should have known that, but I gotta check my notes. 1 second. Frigg. Frigg.
Okay.
And then you have the Elder Kin. Jormungandr is Thor. Fafnir is Balder. And Nidhogg is Cuchulainn.
Oh, that one?
CU_CHULAINN.
Oh, I remember him in Smite.
Yep. Fun fact. Surtur and Nidhogg are coming out in Smite this year. You're welcome.
Yeah, I know about Surtur. I didn't know about Nidhogg, though.
Yep.
I'm excited for Surtur. I want to play it so bad.
Wait for it until some of these characters show up in Ragnarok.
He's not playing it, but
yeah. And you.
We've already yet Jormungandr.
Mm-hmm. Well, he
He
was
is
in the
big
first
boy.
game.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the first game. Cool.
Nice.
You gonna
not
head
at
back
the
to the inn yet, or
yeah.
are we gonna keep
I'm
talking?
assuming we were walking
Yeah.
and talking.
Okay.
That's what I was assuming.
Theorizing and talking.
I'm gonna
I
sigh and
was-
go, do we have to go back to the library?
No.
No, I think we
this
need to
can
press
wait.
on. I need to get to the Elder. We're gonna be late.
No,
if
I
we
meant
tarry
tonight.
too
Go
much.
back to the library.
No, I don't
late.
I think that's a little late. I mean, I guess we should have probably reconvened and compared notes before we left, but whatever.
Oh well.
I'm sure if honestly, this shaman might be able to better help us.
Maybe.
I mean, this is true. He should
We
know
did-
all the tales.
We did make good time
that
getting
I'm
here,
spacing.
and now that we have the horse, we can make good time getting there. So as long as we leave tomorrow, we should be on track time-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Or pretty close anyway. At least I'm not. I've never traveled by horse, so I'm not quite sure the comparison.
I mean, beyond the water
Speedier
adventure,
than
neither
us.
have I.
It's true.
I
I mean,
mean-
sprinting full out.
True.
Could you maintain that for 8 hours?
No.
So we'll see.
Alrighty. Back to the thing, the inn.
Back to the end.
Are you guys gonna hang out and like eat dinner? What's
Yeah, dinner,
Yeah.
and then I at least will be going to bed with a look at the two munchkins going. Alright, no, because they don't have clocks. I'll be pointed look at. I'm assuming
Oh,
they have a
us.
time candle?
Some sort of timekeeping device.
No? Okay.
I think Ember would just be getting food and then going to bed. I don't think he's
Probably.
caring about the
No
clock.
pointed look anywhere then, because there's nothing that would work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone's just gonna eat and then probably retire.
okay? Your food will cost you a total of 8 silver between you. You can divide that up however you want.
I think I'm the only one with money left.
No, I still have money.
We need to earn some money in Caldera.
We do.
Adventuring is hard.
I had all the
Yeah.
spending money. I was given the spending money by your parents.
We could have made 150 gold, but I couldn't in good conscience do that.
I knew what was going on with her, and I'm like, I can't do it. There. Oi! Yeah, I'm like, as soon as I started explaining what was happening for Ember, and I'm like, oh no, 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 I know why she wants the book. No, we can't.
Yep.
Alright, so, going to bed.
Improv.
Long rest.
Long
Sleep.
rest?
Yes, long rest.
Yay!
Spell slots back.
Yay!
Very helpful to have spell slots back.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
My hit dice and my... I was still missing one. Sorcery points. Okay. My backpack. Cursed book.
So, the sun shines through after your long night of rest, and the day has begun. You can hear the people downstairs and the bustling and hustling of the individuals in there. It's getting loud because the breakfast rush is there. And you can hear the bard playing. And these beds are now pretty comfortable and accustomed to you as you are to them. What do you want to do?
Get up and have breakfast.
Get up,
Okay.
pack stuff, sling it into bag, and over a shoulder, and
Yeah.
trump down the stairs.
And have breakfast.
And have
Okay.
breakfast.
The breakfast will cost you 6 silver. Do you want to roleplay during the breakfast? Or are you just
I got
trying to get the hell
breakfast.
out of here?
You got breakfast?
I
Yeah.
think we're just trying to get the
I'm
heck
going
out.
to
Get
try
the
to
hell
get out
out.
of here.
Okay.
I
Alright.
think they would be very focused on, like, don't
Yeah, we got like a
get
lot.
distracted.
We got a lot on our minds at this point.
I
Nyx
will,
is feeling
however,
her
take a moment
backpack
to
weigh very
wave.
heavily.
I will take a moment as we exit to wave at Vandal and Vanderel and Rory and go, "Thank you, we'll be back. Probably, maybe." And then just like wave my hands at the two kids like, I don't know.
And I'm just gonna, bye!
As you all leave town with a not so...
Actually, can I say something?
Yeah.
Nyx is gonna get out the door and then go, "Oh wait!" and run back in and run back up to the bar to Vanderel and go, "One last thing.
Yeah.
I did a couple of days ago sense a dragon within a mile of town. Do with that what you will."
But... And you see him like trying to figure out what he should do, and Rory just kind of like walks over and just puts a hand on his shoulder and just looks down. And he's like...
Nice.
You meant to tell him that like 2 days ago.
Oops. Oops.
Oopsie.
Ow.
Sorry.
That was just louder than I was expecting.
The crickets are aggressive.
Yeah, they are. Holy fuck. That's what I get for using a sample instead of making my own just now. Okay. Sheesh. We're gonna get some of those in there. And this, yeah, there you are. There we go. Exiting to the east of Texry after several days of adventure, you find yourselves on the long road once more. This time, the three of you trying to fit on a Clydesdale. Everybody chooses their particular position with, would be Taya on the front, steering the horse, and the two smaller ones sitting side saddle with their feet dangling opposite directions. The horse clops along untiringly at a slow but steady, what's it called, trot. The scenes around you start to change as you get further from Raldura. Past the edge of the forest where you saw the circus, and around a bend, the trees start to get taller and thicker and much more old. The wonderful browns and deep reds and yellows start to become empty tree limbs. But these branches separate at angles that make a strange sort of canopy on either side of the road. And even though there are very few leaves left on the trees, you find yourselves looking up into a thick, almost brush-like situation above and to your sides on both sides. The road is plenty wide for the horse, and the path is well worn. It's a really interesting experience for you, because the wind whips through these empty trees, and the birds sing. But the air is cold. At a certain point, after about 4 hours of riding, you all listen to Nyx reaching into her bag and fishing out her coat and gloves, blowing into her hands once before she puts them on. Nearly a full day of riding has gone by. Your 7 hours of mostly silence on the road. And you see someone approaching from the opposite direction. They're wearing disheveled clothes that have been ripped in several places. It's a undershirt, a blouse or tunic, as you will. And the gentleman's hands are thick and strong looking. He's walking kind of haphazardly, stepping, and his whole body weight is dumping onto each foot as he goes. And he seems to be trudging through no mud, just normal, gentle road. He doesn't even look up to see you all as he pass by.
Should we ask if he's okay?
Are you okay, sir?
I'm gonna halt the horse so they can talk to him. Nay.
The individual just keeps slowly trudging forward, as if he didn't hear you.
That doesn't make me feel good.
Ember's just gonna kind of lean towards Nyx and be like, should we press further or just let him go?
He's gonna rub her hands together for a minute and then kind of whisper into her hands, "Sir, I don't mean to bother you, but are you okay?" And she's gonna cast message to him.
He turns around trying to figure out where the sound came from, and his eyes start to focus as he looks up and sees the three of you on horseback.
Ooh. I didn't even notice you there.
As he slowly walks toward the three of you, you can see his shirt, what's left of it, has 3 massive cuts, concentric, diagonal, across it, and he is bleeding in several places underneath it.
Sir, are you okay? You look like you're badly injured.
Where am I?
I'm gonna dismount the horse and slowly start walking towards him.
Okay.
I'm gonna eye him and go, where were you, where did you come from originally?
I live in a farm at the edge town, just next to Thigmere.
As she's talking to him, Ember would like to get up to him and cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay, how much healing are you giving him?
It's 1d8 plus 5, so that is 7.
Okay. With a 7, some pink starts to return to his very, very pale face. And he looks at you and he grabs you firmly on the shoulder.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Where
Can you tell us
am
what
I?
happened?
Where am I? Where does this road lead?
Was he
Leads
heading
from
in the direction
Caldera
we
to
left?
Textry.
Oh, I've gone far. Oh. Textry is this way. I have to warn them.
Did he point
them
the
of
way we
what?
came from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Warn them of what?
The wolves.
Oh, those wolves. We
The
heard about them.
wolves.
The wolves we've been hearing about. Okay, I take it we're going wolf hunting.
I mean, so
Don't go near. Don't. Stay away.
are you talking about you live on a farm on the edge of Caldera?
Yes. Next to Mount Thigmere.
Okay.
Well, we're headed to Caldera.
They won't help you.
Well, we're going there to help them.
The Jarl won't leave town. He doesn't care what happens to the outlying farms anymore. His shaman has been injured, and if he can't get readings. He won't leave. He's afraid of the Gias coming true.
That's actually why we're headed there.
Gias?
The Gias on him.
Which is...
I don't know the specifics. I'm sorry, young lady.
Well,
Okay.
we're actually headed to Caldera so I can help the shaman there. That's our whole purpose of the trip, honestly.
He looks sad and he looks down.
You won't be able to help him.
He's very clever with his magic.
Sorry, son. He's gonna die.
How are you so sure?
I've seen many die from the same exact marks.
Marks?
What marks?
Marks?
There is a tale that there is a creature when it bites you, it doesn't pierce your skin, it pierces your soul, and you're bonded. You'll die. It's only a matter of time.
So it's like a curse?
Not quite. I don't think it's... because curses are made of magic. This creature isn't... it's older than that. It's okay. I'm gonna go warn the people of Caldera to get away. As the wolves come down from the mountains, they'll be headed this direction, so keep an eye on
Caldera.
that horse of yours.
You're headed back to Caldera, or you're headed to Taxtree?
I'm sorry. My words escape me. Taxtree. It's the town this way, right?
Yep.
Wonderful. The rest of the farms have already been abandoned. You won't find anyone else between me and where you're headed, except the wolves. Run fast, stay on that horse, and don't die. Thank you for the healing.
You're welcome. Safe travels.
Be
Goodbye,
careful.
dragon lady. Bye, little
Bye.
person.
The old man turns and, still trudging but a little less raggedly, starts walking slowly towards Texry once more.
That doesn't bode well for my job.
No, it does not. Also, wolves. You ready to do some of your, I'm gonna wave my hands at him, talking thing?
Well, so were they like normal animal-sized gashes, or were they like big, like across his whole chest?
Like dire wolf-sized claw marks.
Yeah.
The second one.
Oh, beautiful.
I mean, we were able to talk our way out of a situation last time we ran into dire wolves. So
They weren't dire wolves.
Those were in a cage, and
no, not talking about the ones in the cage.
the white wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not dire wolves.
Nope.
Yeah.
And I'm
Just the
thinking
wolves.
there's other wolves that might not like us.
Maybe. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Let's try to get to Caldera, preferably before nightfall, and
let's try to get there quick.
then maybe you can do.
Horse is moving while this conversation
Yes.
has been happening.
We've got a number back up on the horse, and
One of you gets to roll a D100. Who is
oh
it?
god,
I'll do it.
She's been rolling nat 20s, so...
Okay, all right, she can do it. She can do it. I just like rolling my percentage die. Don't mind me.
where is it? That's the 10.
Next campaign, I'm running something with wild magic. I loved that so much in the freaking one-shot.
It will make it very interesting, and I welcome the challenge.
So it doesn't actually happen as often as it was happening in the one-shot, because I wanted it to happen more often, so I had Cousin do it every time I cast a spell.
Also the 10?
The rules are a lot different when you play it normally, but...
83. I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's the problem with the D100. We have no idea.
Yeah.
It could be better going up or better going down.
Or it could be completely mixed.
Yeah.
As the rest of your day turns into
That's loud.
evening,
I'm just gonna turn that down.
I'm getting wet.
We're all getting wet.
I'm just gonna turn you down so I can hear.
oh, this is the wrong. Hold on. This is the one I wanted.
Alright, that's better. I was like, I couldn't hear you for a second there.
Oh, it's still loud.
Oh no, that's still loud. Okay, we're just gonna turn that down. There we go.
The wind whips up and the grass and ground begins to be replaced with snow and rock. As you curve around toward where you finally get to go, which is Caldura, finally heading west up and around toward the actual place you want to go, you have to go into the Calduran Mountains. After quite a bit of time, I'm going to turn that down a little bit. There we go.
Thank you.
After quite a bit of time has passed, you're on an edge of a mountain road, walking around and down. And as you come around this corner, you see something truly marvelous, and actually marvelous in the word, truly awesome. The mountain directly in front and to the south of you has the crags go like this, and laying in the crevice of this nearly 50 to 80 foot tall space that you're in, right? There is a sword plunged into a giant skeleton. The skull is intact, it's humanoid, and the ribcage is burst open. The bones of the body lay like this, and the sword sticking through it is something so large that whatever wielded it had to be at least 150 feet tall.
Which answers the question I was about to ask.
And in your head, Ember, you hear this. Huh. I know where we are.
Where's that?
You want to do something kind of weird and fun?
Will it delay us much?
No, not at all.
Sure.
Wave at the corpse.
Okay. Without saying anything out loud, Ember's just gonna wave at the corpse.
And as you do so, you hear in your head, yeah, you're waving at my dead body. That's nice.
Whoa. That's your dead body?
Yeah, man. That's how tall I used to be. Before I was in prison.
Oh, you were tall.
Yeah. Cool, right?
Yeah.
That's how tall a Jotun is supposed to be.
Jeez.
Yeah. That sword you see in my chest, that sword was wielded by Hela.
She killed you?
Yep. We fought, I lost.
Must have been one heck of a fight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I had won, she was gonna go on a date with me, so it was a heck of a fight. A hell of a fight? Yeah, hell of a fight.
Oh. Oh.
She really didn't want to go on that date.
Hella fight.
Hella fight. Anyway, just saying, if we get some time to come back around here, I'm a Jotun, so if we get one of my bones and we carve like a staff out of it or something, that could be very useful.
Oh, that's a good point, but that might take some time to harvest that, though.
I mean, yeah.
So yeah, we'll come back to that. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Get a toe bone. Not a rib, get the toe.
And as for the rest of your perspective, you just see Ember step off the horse, or no, he wouldn't get off the horse. He would just kind of stick his hand up and wave at a giant skeleton with no context.
What are you doing?
Oh, waving at the skeleton.
Why?
The Surtur told me to.
Why?
Sir told you to jump off the side of the cliff. Would you do so?
I mean, he probably has a good reason for that, so yeah.
Oh,
wait.
God.
Surtur, please. Don't make him do stupid things.
Why are you waving?
Well, he just said that was his dead body.
Excuse you, what now?
Yeah, apparently that's where Hela killed him.
So I have a book written by the lady who killed your deity, for lack of a better term, and nobody finds that weird?
Jeez, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
That is awesome.
I mean, I would find that weird, except apparently they fought over the opportunity of him going out on a date with her, which kind of fits, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, a coincidence?
Yeah,
Surtur finally has an avatar.
he says if we get time and we come back, we can craft something like a staff or something out of his bones and get some pretty nice magical gear out of it.
Creepy, but if he's okay with it.
He sounds okay with it.
Toads!
They probably would. It probably. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine what a staff carved out of a bone of Surtur's body
Yeah, that'd be pretty
would
epic.
have for abilities.
We'll have to come back for it, though. I mean, his body's not going anywhere.
Nope. I think we're going to be in Caldera a little while, so we got some wolves to take care of, apparently a bone to collect, a shaman to heal, and a curse to break.
That's such a freaking cool picture. I think that's going to be the wallpaper for a while. I need like a wide, ultra widescreen version of that.
As the wind finally dies down and the snow is once again replaced with what is now fall, you find yourselves at the entrance to Caldera. It's a fairly large village with not one, but like 10 streets. And waiting at the watchtower when you arrive, having been called by someone as they saw you approaching, is a heavy, muscled man who is nearly 6'10". He has... where is my... One second. He has a green shirt on with half-scale mail over it, and he's wearing a thick leather and fur combo belt and scabbard. He's wearing wrist guards, and he has a thick beard, and his hair pulled to one side with 3 braids and concentric braids going back. He's elderly, salt and pepper gray. And he's wearing an earring in this ear. As you all approach the gate, he waves. He steps up, and in his free hand is a ridiculously large great axe that he is wielding in one hand.
Oh.
I'm gonna look at that axe and... Yep, I want it.
Nyx is just blink blink. Well, that's something.
Greetings,
She's like,
travelers.
Greetings.
Hello.
State your business.
I'm delivering this one to heal the shaman.
I'm Ember. I'm here to help the shaman.
Oh. I'm Jarl Eric, chief of the village.
Oh, hi.
Follow me.
Yes, sir.
Clop, clop.
Cloppity clop clop.
He walks you guys into town, and you can see left and right and back and center buildings and cobbled roads, as well as, wooden fencing. This is very farm-centric town. You can see fields in every direction, as well as larger buildings on cliffs in the nearby areas. The road he walks you down meanders, and then there's a sharp left. So he takes you around, and as you're passing up, he explains,
So this here is the market square. After we take this left, we're going to go down a side street. There's the shop, and past the shop up on the hill there, that's my home, the manor estate. The shaman is there. I'm assuming you guys will want to stay the night since it's quite late, so the inn is on the opposite side of town.
Alright, thank you very much.
Would you like Ember to take a look at the shaman now so that
Yes.
we can get an
Yes,
idea
I
of
would.
anything that might need to be gathered?
Yes, I would. I really need someone to fix this man. He is my spiritual guide, and I have been so lost without him.
We
I'll try
heard
my
about
best.
the wolf problem.
Huh? Wolves?
Yeah, we met an old man who said he was from one of your outskirts. Said that he had been attacked and the farms were being attacked by wolves.
Oh. Recently called her downsized a bit. The people at the bottom of Bigmere are no longer under my protection.
Why?
This is a tactical decision. I'm sure you would understand. I didn't have enough men to safely guard the area, as well as the main area here. As you can see, it's a rather large village.
I see, that's far larger than the one I grew up in.
Well, after we take a look at the shaman, maybe we can help with the wolf situation.
That would be quite kind of you, but I don't recommend it.
So we keep hearing. What is it about these wolves?
Bigger than a man and can eat you in a couple of bites.
Druid can talk to animals. I think we're good.
Yeah, I got a couple of those here in town.
Oh.
I had more before they decided to try that exact strategy.
Oh.
Well,
Never mind. Nix
Ember,
that Ember, you're not talking
to the wolves. Nope.
Well,
That's okay. We have backup plans.
We'll talk about this. But we'll start with the shaman. Let me see what I can do for him.
Yeah, right this way.
Some
The
point we have to stop the
inside
horse.
of Eric's manor is all wooden and Spartan. There is nothing in the way of furnishings except the bare necessities. There's some chairs, there's a table, there's a bed, which is more of a cot, really. There's no, separate rooms. It seems that even though he has this very large space, he sleeps in what would be the living room. He eats, sleeps, and lives in this one area. The rest of the areas seem to be either unfurnished or not used. And laying on an extra cot at the edge of this space is a man who is quite elderly. easily in his 70s or 80s, and is breathing slowly by a fireplace. He's wearing feathers and concentric sets of beads. He has a long white beard and long white hair and a green robe that is body length. There is a small insignia sewn into the robe that seems to denotate maybe like his station or his name. And he is lying there mostly unconscious.
Okay. I'd like to approach him and just try to look for any kind of obvious wounds. If I do find any wounds, look for infections, those kinds of things.
Before
And
Ember
like
steps up, Nyx is gonna
medical
kind of
inspection.
like grab his wrist and be like, and just go, "You got this," and then let go.
Thanks.
Okay, roll me a medicine check.
Okay.
I
And
have
as
guidance, but
yeah,
And
well, as-
before you do that, I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder and cast guidance and go, "Your mom's gonna kill me if you fail."
I'm gonna get rid of that cantrip. I don't need it anymore. All right.
it's actually good that two people have it because then, like, if we split the
Somebody
party,
can remember it.
somebody can remember it.
All right. What am I rolling?
Nature check. Or medicine check, sorry.
Medicine check. Just straight roll.
Yep.
Okay, making sure. And I'll roll this with a D4 because of guidance.
I like how Nyx was the only one who did her entry and has had inspiration all night, but hasn't needed to use it because she's been rolling fucking 20s all night.
Yeah, that's actually a really good roll. That's 18 plus 4, so that's 22 plus 8, 30. I have a plus 8 to my medicine. And that was the highest I can get on a guidance at an 18 for a natural. So
You're only, what, 2 shy of the highest you can go?
Yeah. Well, no,
Currently,
because you can go
anyway.
higher currently. Yeah, his proficiency modifier is going to keep going up.
Mhm.
He'll be pushing like being able to get 40.
It takes you about 30 minutes to examine the man, and after, getting under the robes and kind of taking a look at his body, you actually find what is causing the problem. There is, on his right shoulder, right around here, what looks to be a bite mark. And it's massive, mind you. The bite mark starts here and ends back there. Okay? It is huge bite mark. Okay? And there are punctures like teeth, but they're not scar tissue and they're not wounds. They look like tattoos.
They look like tattoos.
Yeah. With like dark purple black ink. And everywhere that you see this ink, it is bleeding through veins towards other parts of his body. There are some that are even so far that they're covering his heart currently.
Okay, so the first thing I would like to do, to be on the safe side here, I'm going to cast, just making sure I have the spells to do this. I'm going to cast Detect Magic, but I'm going to do it ritually, so I don't take a spell slot here.
Okay.
So it'll take me like 10 minutes. But I'm trying to see if the injury is magic in nature. I know what the old man told me, but I want to see it for myself.
Yep. 1 second here. So, as you cast Detect Magic, your senses concentrate on this man's body, and in your arcane sight, you can actually see the outline of this and the tendrils flowing from it through his veins, and they're a sickening black color. And as you focus, you get 2 things. It's abjuration magic, and it's primal.
Abjuration and Primal.
Look, we tripped on another plot thread.
This one was on purpose, though.
It was on purpose, yes.
This is gonna be rough, guys.
You know that get stronger thing?
Yeah, but he
faster.
doesn't have time. I'm gonna have to. All right. All right. Here comes a series of spells. Let's see if I can get rid of this. So the first thing I'm going to do, just looking over a few things here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at first level.
Okay.
Just to try to give us a little bit more time in case I can't fix this.
Mm-hmm. How many
and so,
health are you healing him?
That is 8.
Okay. So you'll see
Does
some...
that seem to help any?
You'll see some redness return to his cheeks, and he'll groan in his sleep. But
Okay.
the wound and the bleeding from the bleeding ink does not recede at all.
Okay, so it didn't seem to help with the issue.
It seemed to help with his health points.
Right. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so let me ask Meta what I'm trying to ask here, because I don't know how to ask it in character. I'm trying to see if I just extended the amount of time it takes for that to kill him by giving him more HP, or is it more like a Perish Song, where after 3 turns it dies regardless?
Closer to the first one, but not quite.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't, like, I didn't know how to put that in character.
And it's something you would know by casting the magic, so it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to try, I'm going to cast Dispel Magic.
Okay. Give me your roll,
I'm going
friendo.
to cast it at the highest possible that I can cast it at. So I'm going to cast it at 3rd level, because that's where I can cast it.
And what's the roll I gotta beat?
So first off, I know the answer to this, but first off, is the spell I'm trying to dispel, is it 3rd level or higher?
Significantly higher.
Okay, so it is 10, and it's my roll, but it's 10 plus the spell level.
Oh,
That is what I'm supposed to beat with my
roll away, my friend.
Okay, and I'm gonna check if I add my... you make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. So my modifier is +5. So I get to add +5 to a d20. Once again, before I roll this, I'm going to cast Guidance on myself.
Good boy.
Actually, I don't think I can cast Guidance, can I? Because I'm already technically casting Dispel Magic.
You could ask Kea too, though.
I'll leave that to the DM because I
don't
forgot
care,
to ask
roll
Kea
it.
before. Alright, cool. Alright.
I don't care the order of operations here.
Alright.
They gave you guidance literally a second ago, and both of them did it, so just...
I mean, I can't guidance, but she was just being, morally supportive good friend.
Yeah. So that's natural 14 plus 5 is 19 plus 1 for guidance, so that's a dirty 20.
Okay. As you push your dispel magic towards the individual, you feel resistance. And it overwhelms your spell entirely.
It's higher than a 10th level spell? What the
Or it's not
heck?
really a spell.
That means it's... the heck?
There is rules for this, Gil. You know what the rules are.
I don't remember the rules for this.
So
God
the
level
way that
magic.
spells work in D&D is the highest level that player characters can cast at is 9th.
9th, yeah.
But NPCs can cast all the way up to 20th.
Jeez. Louise. Alright. So that failed. Alright, we're gonna try 3 more things. Next thing I'm gonna do is try to cast Lesser Restoration.
Okay?
See if that does it.
That's for curses, right?
No. You touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Okay. So, actually, this is going to do something. What's the roll for this? Is
There's
there a
no
roll?
I just do it.
So, when you touch him, you feel something connect with your magic. And as you look underneath, you can see the lines of black receding slightly toward the outline of the bite.
Oh. How far did they recede? Like half the way, or
Not
from
quite.
where they were?
Maybe about an inch.
Oh, you're gonna have to cast that a lot.
I mean,
Keep casting.
I got spells to burn. Since I
Actually,
saw
wait.
that had an effect, I can cast it
Wait.
2 more times.
You have it, Heidi?
No,
I'm
but I
waiting
just
because she
had a
told me to
thought.
wait.
No,
That's why I'm
go,
hesitating right now.
go ahead.
Okay, then I'll cast it 2 more times.
Okay.
Since
so,
I saw that had an effect.
when you do so, each time you cast it, the amount that it goes backward is more than the previous time. So by the end of the third cast, it's around an inch from every point where it's actually at, instead of several inches. We're talking 4.5 to about 1.
Can I guess by like how much it's receding, how many more spells it would take of Lesser Restoration cast to make it go all the way back to the entry point?
Probably 2.
Shoot. Well, guys, we have a decision. Okay, so at this point, Ember's gonna kind of break away, and I'm sure at this point he's probably sweating with all the exertion that he's been doing. And if I'm not,
Which
if I'm
Nyx
not
immediately
mistaken,
pats him and prestidigitations all the sweat off.
if I'm not mistaken, like an hour probably has passed for all of this, right? Because it was
yeah,
30 minutes
very
for the
nearly.
examination, 10 minutes for ritually casting that, and then I casted like 4 spells after that. So
Which are 6 to 10 seconds each, so
yeah, so like 45 minutes, give or take.
rounded up to 50 for talking and interruptions.
Yeah. So Ember's just gonna kind of step away from him for a second and kind of look at Nyx and be like, or Nyx and Kea. I see the problem. He has been injured with some kind of magical affliction. I tried to get rid of the affliction itself, and it was a little bit stronger than what I could do. So I tried to lessen. I thought maybe it might have been poisoning him, and so I tried to remove the disease from his body. That seemed to make it recede, which is good. I kind of have a choice. I'm almost spent magically here. I can make the. What am I trying to say? I can make the disease or the poison, whatever it is, recede all the way back to its origin point. But if I do that, it'll probably continue to spread. It just gives us more time. Or I can use my last 2 spells to try to dispel the origin of it again. But there's no guarantee I can just dispel it. It's just 2 more attempts.
Ember? You did the magic seeing thing, yes?
Mm-hmm.
What exactly did you see?
It's abjuration and primal.
Oh god, primals again. What with the primals?
Yes, Elder?
I think that was Serta going.
Oh, was that
in your
Serta?
head.
It's hard to tell. He just does this without any prompt and no voice. It's hard to tell, guys.
He needs a sign that says Serta.
He does need a sign. Yes, Serta.
Ember, you're not gonna make a whole lot of progress wasting your spell slots like that.
What do you mean?
I mean, no matter how many times you can cast that, it's not going to cure it. It's just gonna pull the poison back. But the poison's gonna leak out the moment you walk away.
That a spell's not gonna cure it?
No.
Not
That
even
man
if...
has been cursed by a primal.
Again with curses.
Only a primal or an Aesir can remove its effects. And I don't think any Aesir or primals would deign to care enough to help this poor old man.
Would you care to help him?
I'm a Vanir. I'm just magically not capable. Wait! Ember, ask the guy, that one, the big one. Ask him if there's anywhere nearby that you can acquire an even lily.
Did you say an even lily?
Eden.
Even. Okay.
Eden.
Is it E-T-H-E-N?
It's E-D-U-N, but the Norse
Eden.
D
Okay.
is a T-H sound.
Ah, so I heard it correctly, but it's okay. Alright, jeez.
I'm trying to give a little bit of respect to the culture, okay?
Yep. Alright, just writing that down so I don't forget. Okay, and just talking meta here, I'm gonna assume he's referring to the chieftain when he said the big guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so out loud, Ember will turn towards the chieftain and just be like, so I seem to be able to kind of reduce the effects of the disease that's kind of coursing through his body. But to kind of help further, I need to ask you, do you have access or know where we can get a Ethan Lily?
His face just drops.
I know where they are, all right.
Where's that?
Where he got bit.
And where's that?
Atop a Thigmere at the Frozen Throne. Kid, you and your friends can't go up there. I've got highly trained Vikings that have lived their entire lives fighting battles and winning. We were decimated.
Bye.
Wolf.
Well, let me see what else we can do.
I appreciate your help, and I'll pay you accordingly. And you guys can stay in the tavern tonight, the inn. She don't need to help us anymore. If that is the situation we're in, he's gonna have to go. We'll
We
lose.
haven't exhausted all our resources yet.
If anyone's looking at Kea, she has her head down, and the look on her face is that she's trying to not have on her face is goddamn stupid, idiotic men who don't listen to anything.
Tell you what, Chieftain. I'll review my
Jarl.
notes. Okay, sorry.
At which point she goes,
I don't remember. It's fucking. Tell you what, Jarl. Give me the night to review my my notes and make sure there's nothing else I can do. Let's not give up hope just yet, okay?
All right. Listen, boy. The inn is at the other side of town. The man who runs its name is Griffin. Y'all can stay there tonight. I'm gonna start preparing the funeral for my friend here.
Did not listen to me at all.
And power don't.
So, I think we're actually going to stop right there because the inn would be like a lot more stuff happening. I don't think we can get to that.
Yeah,
But we will get to that first thing next session.
Question.
Yeah.
Before we end this session out, would the payment for the services, would that be something that we deal with later?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about that right now. He's not gonna stiff arm you.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure he's not stiff arming me. This was one heck of a journey, all right.
Okay, so we're gonna end the episode right there because what the in scenes and stuff. There's lots of new characters and all that, and we have 3 minutes. Like,
Yep.
There's no reason to break into all that, but we will start with the Hill Inn next time, and it will be nighttime.
Yep. Seeing as how it's nighttime, can we say before we left that I used my last 2 spell slots to do lesser restoration just to pull that poison back?
Yep, I'll make note of that.
Okay, all I have are first level spells now.
Hey.
Well, and cantrips, but we're about to sleep, so I figured I would just give us more time, hoping that the lesser restoration gives us more time.
Alrighty.